was like, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna feel my presence.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, but if you're looking for a physical appearance, don't get your hopes up.
Yeah,
so I feel like that was as close to a no as you can get to without just basically like, why are you asking me this question?
That as I'm gonna be there.
Why are you getting your hopes up though? Don't he literally
should just
I'm just saying.
You're gonna get,
don't say nothing.
Don't be upset
disappointed.
when it doesn't happen. Yeah, don't be upset when it doesn't happen. You set yourself up. Welcome everybody to an all new episode of the Galactic Review. We are back. We've been waiting for Star Wars content to consume. The last time we gave you Galactic Review, I believe, was Bad Batch, right? No, Book of Boba. I'm so stupid. Book of Boba is really right here. Book of Boba was the last time we gave you a Galactic Review. But we are so happy to be back. We are back with Star Wars Celebration in full swing. We are back with Kenobi dropping. By the way, bravo to Disney for dropping Kenobi for us Easterners literally at midnight. We appreciate you. We love you. Continue to do that. Okay. All right. Stop catering to the West Coast. Give us that
Westerners
midnight.
loved it at 11.
Right.
Westerners were happy with 11.
Right. Give us that midnight. All right. Because it's crazy out here to try to either navigate 3 a.m. And then
you gotta wake up and
this was a Star Wars celebration.
Yeah.
Star Wars celebration thing. Don't get your hopes up.
I don't know. No, I don't know that. I think it was more so they understood that Stranger Things was today also. So they just wanted a head start.
It was great being able to watch the Warriors game and lead right into that.
Yeah, that's exactly, bro. When I saw that, I was just like, Golden State won.
I was like, all right, well, like, Warriors game over. Right to
like, what? Look at the gods blessing me out here. We know you don't know, Trevon. Shut up.
Right.
All right. Anyway. Welcome back. We have a full panel today, guys. Some new faces, some old faces, some beautiful faces all the way around. But I'm ready to get into just Star Wars. Just Star Wars. Like I said, Star Wars raised me. It raised me. You know when parents just give kids tablets and say, shut up? My mom used to pop in Return of the Jedi and say, go get a fruit snack and shut up. And I'd religiously do that. Star Wars raised me. Mark Hamill is everything to me. This whole era is everything to me. So it's great to be smack dab right back into it. But let me introduce my panel before we jump right into Kenobi, starting off with Didge. What's up, Didge?
Not much, happy to get into this. Like you said, Star Wars definitely raised me. This was the first thing I think my dad and I both loved. So it was always, if I wanted to hang out with him, it's let's watch Star Wars again. And he's, hell yeah, let's do it. So I'm so excited. I caught him at like 1:00 last night when I finished both episodes. Like, you gotta watch this. He's like, I'm half asleep. Why are you calling me? Like, no, you have to watch this.
My dad definitely texted me this morning and was just like, I don't know about you, but I thought this was amazing. I was just like, yeah, duh. Of course I thought it was amazing. Are you serious? This is what I've been waiting for. Are you serious? The only thing that can top this is when this series is over and they green light that Darth Vader.
Vader? Oh, yes. Let me tell you.
Oh, no sleep will be had. Are you serious? I'll just watch that on rotation.
Right.
Be working my job. They're like, are you watching that Vader series again? Yes, of course.
Have it on your phone while you're working?
Yeah, of course. Are you serious? I've ignored all these customers here. It's Vader time. But next up is Trevon. What's going on, Trevon?
I'm happy to be here. Happy to be a new knowledgeable Star Wars fan now. So it does feel good to watch this and recognize certain things. I'm like, oh, is that like, it's just nice that I can, do that now. So yeah, happy about that.
Don't you appreciate that, Trevon?
I do.
Right.
I do.
So for our new listeners, Trevon's referring to we were able to get him to get all the way through Clone Wars.
Yes.
And watch Revenge of the Sith in preparation for Kenobi. So Trevon has the entire map. So when he sees things in flashbacks or this person pops up, he knows everything. Right? All right, now
you love to see it. You love to see it.
See? If only we could, Jayla and Jamie,
I've seen all of
Any
Star
point
Wars.
this lifetime.
I've seen most of Star Wars. I'm sorry.
Have you seen the most important Star Wars? Because
Yes.
that's Clone Wars. That's
Clone Wars is the most important, but whatever.
Just saying. Goodness gracious. Anyway, next up, Jayla. What's going on, Jayla?
Hi, it's going pretty good. Recently I've been on a bit of a Star Wars burnout, but this might be bringing me back in line. I'm sorry. I'm being honest.
I love it. Yes, you caused the chaos now. Yes.
I'm being honest. Would you rather me lie?
Yes, cause the chaos, not me this time.
Oops. I didn't say I hate Star Wars. I didn't say that it wasn't special to me. It's just a bit of a burnout.
You might as well.
Okay,
Goodness
that's fine.
gracious.
I'm all right. I wear my heart on my sleeve. No problem.
My goodness gracious.
Yes.
I thought when someone told me they had Batman fatigue, my heart got ripped out. And then you just came with the Star Wars fatigue. Oh,
I wouldn't even call it fatigue. It's just we're in a difficult time together right now, me and Star Wars. But it looks like Obi-Wan might fix that, might remedy that for me.
I mean, because if he can't, I don't know what will, Jayla. If Kenobi can't, if he can't bring you back over here, I don't know what will. I'm scared. I really am. Where are you in Clone Wars?
I'm in like season 2 now.
Okay, and that's not helping you get back into the.
It's slowly but surely. We'll get into it later. I'll explain myself.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying.
I have a good reason, but I'll explain it later.
All right. Oof, I'm starting to sweat like a pastor. Girl, you done got me.
I love this.
Okay. All right.
Oops.
Okay.
You haven't won until he turns off his camera.
Yeah, when I do that, I am highly disappointed. When I have to turn off my camera. Whew. Next up, for the first time on the Galactic Review and the first time with the Geek Vibes Nation crew, Gil. What's going on, Gil?
Yo, what's going on? How's it going, Max?
Good. You excited to talk some Star Wars?
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you guys having me on. What's going on, everybody? I talked to all you guys real quick pre-show, but yeah, man, happy to get into it. Pretty juiced to be here. My introduction to Star Wars was through my dad. He used to be a truck driver, and there was like one trip I went with him. It was like out of state, and like we watched episodes 4, 5, and 6, like back in like 95, 96, something like that. We basically didn't even sleep. We just stayed up watching that all night while we were driving out of state. And like, that was my first introduction. I was like, holy can I cuss? Is it cool if I cuss?
Of course,
I was just like, okay, I wasn't
yeah.
sure. I was just like, holy shit, this is amazing. This is awesome. Like, I was like, this is like the best thing ever.
100%. 100%. I love that. Like I said, Star Wars was so big, bigger than a lot of people remember it, because it took that long ass gap year, right? Between Revenge of the Sith and Force Awakens. So a lot of people have grown up with just the cartoon, if that, right? So to me, it's one of those things where it's like, it's good to get Star Wars back where it belongs, on top, where you can bring in all these people that have never had those Star Wars experiences and kind of get them to kind of soak all that in. I always start people off the right way. 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, not 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, because that's how you could get somebody like, I don't like Star Wars. You want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then if they say they still don't appreciate Star Wars, when you tell them, all right, let me just do one more thing. Let me just slide you to Star Wars Clone Wars real quick. Let me know what you think of that. And that either that or The Mandalorian is usually what brings people in. Like, all right, I'm a little.
I had a couple people who didn't like it really enjoy it after watching Rogue One.
I can understand that, because
I love Rogue One. I'm just saying.
No, Rogue One's a great movie, but I understand that because a lot of people in their heads, right? That's why I told you this last week, Didge. To me, Star Wars is and will always be lightsabers, right? I don't really care about the politics of it. It's lightsabers. So for somebody that doesn't like it, for someone who may not like Star Wars, coming in watching Rogue One, that's a highly touted political movie, right? Where it's political and then kind of like espionage. It's like Star Wars spy movie.
But you would argue so is Clone Wars, because that's the exact reason why I like Clone Wars, because Clone Wars is political and you got the lightsabers in it. So like you.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah.
But Rogue One, you only have it for like 2 seconds at the end of the movie. It was a lightsaber.
And that was the best.
Right.
So,
I think
so
that's
for a
what it
lot
is.
of people,
Ever.
so for me, I would much
That
rather
ending is
start.
like shit.
Yeah, I would much rather start people off with the prequels, where it's just
absolutely.
heavily driven by lightsabers, and the politics of it is in the background of everything else that's happening. And then again, sometimes Star Wars just isn't for people. I will never understand people that love Star Trek. Again, I told you guys before.
Are you not a fan of it?
It's like watching a book. It's
You want
literally
Star
like
Trek?
watching a
Interesting.
book. It is
Oh, no,
so
I'm-
boring. Oh my god.
The shows are awful. The newest movies where it's like a
With
lot
J.J.
more
Abrams?
action.
With J.J.
Yeah,
Abrams?
where,
Okay.
where it's a
The
lot
problem
more
with that
action.
the problem with that was he made 3. No, I think he made 2 and someone else made that 3rd. Only the first one was appealing to me. Like really good. Like, okay, I'm into Star Trek. And then the second one dropped and I'm like,
Yes.
I don't like any of this. And then Idris's 3rd one came and I said,
Oh,
okay,
I didn't see
I'm
Idris's
out.
one, so
yeah, I am.
I like
to
the
be fair,
3rd one.
I didn't see
Sorry.
that one. I saw the 2. The first
I
one,
hit him
like,
with the deuces.
I was with
I'm out.
you. The first one, I was like, this is great. And then
Hell
the
yeah.
second one, I was like, all right, so it's a step down, but still
Mhm.
cool. It's still cool. If this is what Star Trek is going to be going forward, I can do this. And I didn't even know the 3rd one came out. I did not
Yeah.
know the Idris one
3rd
came
one
out.
came out. I watched that. I was watching with my dad and we just looked at each other like, this ain't it. This is not it.
Ain't
That's
the
fair,
same.
then.
This ain't it. Sorry.
It's definitely no Star
Um,
Wars. I saw someone debating that Star Trek versus Star Wars ever. And I wanted to get on Twitter last night. I'm like, don't you ever bring Star Wars up
Hell
with
yeah.
Star Trek
Hey,
again.
Hey, I tell you what, if that person was in front of me, he would have got willed. That's for damn. Keep Star Wars name out your fucking mouth. Keep it out your mouth. Don't you put it in the same conversation as that.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Not the
You.
same
Sorry, I'm
thing.
struggling today, guys.
It's okay. If that was your subtle way of defending Star Trek, I get it. My
It
bad.
is.
Right.
I am a Trekkie. I do love Star
I
Trek.
get it. My bad. I
Spock
get it.
is my homie, so I'm sorry.
Look,
No,
Gil,
look,
Gil
they
has,
have
Gil
great
has the hand up
characters.
for you.
Look, they have great characters. It's just when I watch some of those old movies and
Oh
these
my
new
God.
shows, it's just like, oof.
They were
Oh, it's
rough.
trying my patience out here. All right, now.
They were
You
rough.
should check out Next Generation, though, at least. The
Is
show.
that the one with Patrick Stewart? I have watched that one.
You, don't
You know
like
what?
it?
I did it. So I'm gonna check it out and I'm gonna let you know my thoughts on it.
Thank
I
you,
stream?
Didge.
Where can I stream it? That's what I need to know.
Paramount Plus.
Is it
Yeah.
Okay.
Paramount?
I will
Paramount
check.
Plus.
You'll be the
Paramount Plus.
I will
deciding
check it out and
factor.
let you know how I. Okay.
Please do.
I'll check
Please
it
do.
out.
I'm always open. I'm always open. If someone loves it, I'm open to them pulling me in. Because when I tell you, I picked up a book and I don't read. I picked up a book after watching that shit and said, well, look, if you're going to make me read, right? Like, at least let the book be good. Damn. All right. Last but definitely not least, the queen. And I don't say this in hyperbole. The queen of Star Wars. Hello, Ash. How are you doing? I know. It's just basking in royalty. I know. They don't know, Ash.
Oh, like,
Royalty out here. They don't
like
know.
yesterday and today. Also, I apologize in advance. My voice has been gone since Sunday, and it's finally back today. So it's gonna go a little bit in and out. So I apologize. But we've just been. I'm just so happy to have Star Wars back. Like, I mean, it never left in the first place because like we've just been getting content after content. But to finally have Kenobi was just. I can't wait to talk about it. It was beautiful. It was everything. Star Wars Celebration has just been amazing from like start to finish. Every single thing. There's like something for everybody in it. And I'm just enjoying my best Star Wars life. And Reba all day, every day. That's my wife. We stand in this household. I love
Mhm.
you.
Mhm.
Mhm.
With all
Mhm.
of my heart.
She won't make it out of this season, but I'm with you. I love me
Oh,
some
she
Reba.
won't.
I
Not sad,
Definitely
but
won't.
it's sad, but
Some
still.
But you better
For-
fuck
for the
it up
short
along
time-
the way.
Right, for the short time we got her.
Yeah,
We're
because
here.
I-
We're here.
I see it happening as clear as day that Reva is hyping up this fictional relationship with Vader of like, yeah, Vader got me. As soon as he come out that back to tank, she the first head rolling. And then Vader's just like, all right, where's Kenobi? All right, okay, cool. But again, I saw a lot of Reva hate across the internet. I don't understand it. A lot of people's issues with her is kind of motivation, because it hasn't been made clear yet. Kind of some of her dialogue, a lot of things kind of seem quite like Rey, like it's circumstantial. Like, all right, well, you just so happen to be able to use it here, but not when it mattered. I get it, but it didn't bother me. It did not bother me. I do want to let people know that being able to read people's minds is a Jedi trick, not a Sith trick. Because I saw a lot of people saying, well, if Reva could do it, like, does that mean Rey was? No, that's or Kylo. That's very much a Jedi thing you're taught. If you remember Clone Wars, remember they used it on Cad Bane when they arrested him in season 2 or season 3, when they were in the spacecraft. That was when Cad Bane was saying those Jedi mind tricks don't work on me. And it took it took Anakin, I think it was Windu in, I can't remember the third Jedi, for them to all put their power together to try to get inside of Cad Bane's mind. So it's very much something that I think Force wielders learn. It doesn't have to specifically be.
Learn about a new power every time.
And it ain't flying. Look at that, Trevon. All right, so Gil, I want to. Trevon, the day Star Wars
going across them
by the way,
tops.
By the way,
saying,
like, Star Wars do better. Okay, do better, because that very jumbled parkour you were doing there was just not visually pleasing at all.
I enjoyed it.
That was a little rough.
Yeah, that was just like, oof.
Star Wars always has those moments though. That's like
some force jumping.
Come on, let's do a little better with this.
It's just,
it adds to the corniness of Star Wars at times.
To me, it wasn't her ability to be able to do those things. It was just the ability of, like, it was just the visual aspect of it, like looking at it, like, all right, that didn't even look like it was even force jumping. Like, what when she forced it down and then did like the backflip, I'm like, what? You couldn't have just landed and walked across? Like, what is what I mean?
Like, that's the corniness of Star Wars.
Flair to her, okay?
There's
that's
good.
Right.
I'm just saying, there's no Olympics in Star Wars. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Star Wars is just extra.
Up and down, looking left, right, and center with her little Ahsoka.
Remember, even in the Book of Boba Fett, where the guy did like the full spin just to show.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like when he. Yeah, I didn't like when he had his shaft moment.
He was dodging a bullet. He was dodging a bullet.
But I mean, saying that doesn't make me any better.
It's the corniness of Star Wars. That's what we love about it.
I agree. Star Wars needs corniness.
That's those
I disagree. Star Wars does not need corniness.
Yes, it's had it since the beginning. It's had it since the beginning. Every Star Wars movie had not even just movie. Every Star Wars
just a little bit of campiness,
has a little bit of cheesiness,
has a little bit.
Yes,
I get you.
True.
I get
so
you.
If I had to,
it's great about it. There's nothing wrong with it.
Look, you know what?
I can't wait to hear. I can't wait to hear one of the stormtrooper gag reel when they just like one of them gets kicked and they fall. And you just hear the stormtrooper squeal, whatever it's called.
Now that's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's
campiness though.
That's campiness.
No.
They be doing.
That's the equivalent. That's the equivalent of the arm of the leg guy in SpongeBob. Like that shit's hilarious.
That's campiness. That's also campiness.
That works.
That's the definition of campy.
I'm not arguing that. I'm saying that works. That I like. You doing that? You turning Reva into Gabby Douglas or whatever the hell is just like what's happening here?
Why got me Gabby Douglas?
That was the only one I could think of. Would you have liked me to have named someone else, Trevon? Anyway, let me read some of these comments before we pass it to you first, Gil. It had a good start. Let's hope the rest of the episodes are just as good. My only criticism is for the Inquisitors. Oh, have you all seen Star Wars? Oh, yes, we have. We'll get into Star Wars Celebration before we get out of here. So we'll get back to that. Some writing and pacing issues across both episodes, sure, but to me, I don't find many things across the geek spectrum that isn't. So to me, that's always good. It just can't take away from the episode, and I didn't feel as though it did. The main Inquisitor kind of went out really fast, and with a Snoke-like death, I was like, no, he's not dead. The Grand Inquisitor is not dead. I don't think they're going to completely fuck up the continuity of
That
Star
would be
Wars
wild if
by
they
killing
did.
him. Yeah,
Unless-
because then you mess up Rebels. Then you get into a whole new era of Star Wars that you're messing up.
Grand Inquisitor is just a Grand Inquisitor name, and maybe, I don't know.
Someone did have a theory that the voice actor for the Grand Inquisitor in Rebels will turn out to be the true Grand Inquisitor with the actual
Oh, I
look, the
saw something
actual
like that.
Jason Isaacs. And I'm like, well, if that's the case, cool, but you better do a really good job by explaining what the point of doing that was. Like,
maybe is that a race? Like that?
No, it's not. Well, I mean, of course, everything in Star Wars has a race.
So they could just have another one that's a race.
The likelihood of
him having them
Palpatine
same
going,
tattoos and everything.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's
That'd be
because here's the problem, Trayvon. Even if what you're saying is true, you went through all the trouble to make us believe that was the actual Grand Inquisitor that we all know, right?
Mhm.
So I'm like, you didn't need to do that if that's what you were just trying to showcase, that this was, you know, a different person and now this is the actual person. Just use the actual person. You know what I'm saying? It's making us go in circles for no reason. So I prefer that he's just
Or
not
they
dead.
just ignore Rebels altogether.
You can't.
You
Filoni had his
almost can't.
hands on this.
What?
Filoni had his hands all
What?
over this. No way you ignore Rebels.
Absolutely
No
not.
way.
You
I
can't.
hope
Because then
they
you got to
shouldn't,
retcon too much
but
of Ahsoka's story.
Yeah.
Yeah, no way. It's an
And
avalanche.
Maul's death? Maul's
Yeah.
and then no, man.
That I don't mind. That I don't mind. Darth Maul still being alive, I never mind that.
You know,
I would like that a
but my
lot.
boy
I would
like
finally
that.
got his good ending. We ain't gonna.
No, I'm with you.
That kind of fuck that shit up.
I'm with you. Even though Rebels did need to explain that better, because we just watched Kenobi say, I didn't ignite my lightsaber or utilize the Force because it would bring too much attention to myself. Meanwhile, in Rebels, he had a full-on lightsaber battle in the middle of Tatooine, and Vader was just like,
Well,
I don't know
maybe
what's happening.
maybe by
I don't
the
know
end
where
of
he's at.
Vader
this,
does not like sand, so
maybe by the end of
That
this,
is
so
true.
he's like, all right, I have to.
Yeah, that is very true. Anakin was just like, where's that coming from? Tatooine. I don't
Nah,
do
you
sand,
gotta
dog.
hit
So
it.
they just
I
be
don't
if
do
you have to be
sand.
around people, maybe.
I don't do
Maybe
sand.
just if you're around people, they want to. That's what he meant. Like
Wait, say it again, Trevon.
if he used it around people, maybe that's what he meant. It would alert.
No, the Force is whenever you ignite it. Whenever you ignite it,
But I'm saying,
people
like,
can sense it.
she didn't sense it. Reverend, she didn't sense it until she saw the shooting. Well, wait, when did he do
No,
it?
she sensed it literally the moment he saved Leia from hitting the ground. She sensed it.
She was already on her way, by the way, though. Then
Right,
anyway,
because she saw the blast.
she saw the shooting.
lock.
Yeah.
She got a lock on where Kenobi was once he utilized the Force. Once you do that, it's a beacon. It's a beacon that just ignites. Anyone can sense. Bro, Vader opening his eyes, that was purely because he
I was
sensed that
literally
Kenobi's
about to say
alive.
that. I was
Yeah.
literally about to say that.
Vader only opened his eyes like that
because of Obi-Wan.
Kenobi.
Like,
He's like, I found you.
oh,
He's like, yeah,
He felt
I'm
him.
on my way. Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
I'm on my way. Don't you even worry.
Yeah.
Don't you even worry.
like that.
Get
like
that ass ready.
Higher transition.
Right, yeah, get that ass ready.
Like,
Right, exactly.
mm.
I never really got into Star Trek. Yeah, I think there's like, I think with Star Trek sometimes that might be one of those generational things to where that it might be just a small gap in the generation to connect people to Star Trek. That first one did a really good job. Everyone was talking about Star Trek, and then it just slowly started to die out.
Shows now. I mean,
No, I'm not saying Star Trek's not
they're doing
popular.
something right.
No, I'm not saying it's not popular. Trekkies are right up there with Star Wars fans. Is
For sure.
Die Hard. Like they
Yeah.
bleed it. They bleed it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say toxic.
Oh well, Star Wars fans can be toxic. That is
So can Star Trek fans.
All
though.
fans have toxicity.
that is true.
All
Oh
of them
my
have
goodness.
toxicity.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. No, but there are levels to it. Like it's literally Star Wars, Snyder fans, and then
Mhm.
literally everything else. And it is
Mm.
whew, that thing catches like wildfire. The new Anson Mount show is decent. Yeah, I definitely heard people talking about that. You're comparing science fantasy to science fiction, apples versus oranges. No, not really. I'm just comparing one I thought was good and one I thought was
Oh, okay.
subverting expectations, of course. All right, Gil, let's pass it to you. First of all,
Yeah.
I'm loving seeing armored Kenobi. That's something
Yes, sir.
that people don't do enough.
This is my favorite look for Kenobi. That's why I busted him out of my display, because I got, like, as you can see, all the action figures behind me and stuff like that. I have my Star Wars section out of what you call it, out of camera, out of focus or whatever. But favorite version of Kenobi right here, armored up.
100%.
I love
and look,
it.
I started crying after the second episode ended because the first thing I thought was, how do you top how this ended, right? Like, how do you start the next one off with wildfire so that people are just like, okay, whatever you do, I'm already hooked. You started off with Kenobi having a nightmare, right? And that nightmare being Anakin, but not in the wardrobe that George had him in, but the wardrobe we know Anakin to specifically be in that exact point in time. Or even just a memory of him remembering the Clone Wars. And us seeing Anakin in his armor, Kenobi in his armor.
That would be amazing, please.
If they did that, I'm telling you right now, nobody would allow the rest of that episode to go on. They would stop it, right? And then we would all perform a seance, just thinking. like I would call up Didge. Didge, what are you doing? The Star Wars.
I'm already in position. What do you mean? Let's go.
Listen, you're not wrong, because after that Order 66 sequence, I stopped. I paused, and I collected myself.
Mm-hmm.
So let me tell you, if that was to ever happen. And
then somebody said,
I'm good.
What if we get an episode from Vader's standpoint where we just see more of his storm on the temple? And I just said, okay, you got to stop. Like, that's
I got chills. I got chills.
Come
on. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh my God.
That would be amazing.
Sorry, let's regroup here. All right. Okay.
Why would you do that? Now I'm about to that's gonna be my expectations.
Oh man, I need it.
Trevon, I'm gonna be channeling you.
I need it. I said it before. Trevon is he is starting to become a bad influence on me, man. I'm starting to put expectations on things I never would have. Like Trevon. No, you shouldn't, Trevon.
No, because if I don't get that, do you know how
then you get hurt?
Yeah, and it would be my fault.
That'll be fine. You felt it from the thought,
Oh, okay. Anyway, Gil, we're gonna go back to you. I love the standing.
Yes, sir.
I love Vader. I love armored up Kenobi. But walk me through your thoughts on these first two episodes.
First thoughts, man. Just like how we go back to the temple. We were just saying the temple, Order 66. I almost thought that we were gonna get Anakin murdering the younglings, and I was like, are we gonna get this? I was like, no, because Disney's going a little bit darker with all the stuff like Moon Knight, this and that, and they got all the Defender stuff on there. So I was like, are they gonna go there with this? I was like, are we gonna finally be able to see this? That's what I was hoping for. We didn't get it, but still pretty cool, pretty awesome. We get an old beat up Kenobi. That surprised me, man. Like, he just looks like he'd been through it, like he's seen some things, and it's just like, man, this poor guy. And you kind of just see like the everyday routine that he's stuck in. And I was like, are you gonna finally do something or what? Because the other guy, the other Jedi, I can't remember the name, but he was the one who, I guess, what was his name? Sorry. Nari. Okay. He was out doing stuff, and he helped out the cantina or bar guy, and that's what attracted the attention to the Inquisitors in the first place. I thought he was gonna do something to try to help him out, but he was just like, nah, fam, you on your own. And it's like, damn, okay. Like, you're really just not about that life anymore. I'm just like, holy shit. There's a bunch of different moments I was just like, Kenobi, are you gonna do something or what? The whole entire Owen thing. I don't want to spoil everything and get into everything, because I want you guys to talk about stuff too.
Go into everything that stood out.
I would just say talk it all over again.
Yeah. Just go into everything that stood out to you, because we'll all have different perspectives of what we saw. So don't short yourself. Go ahead.
Okay, well, yeah, because with Owen, man, I really thought that Reva was gonna, put I don't know, mess him up or possibly go after the family. I was just like, obviously he doesn't die, because we get him in episode 4, but it's man, he could be like almost on the verge of death or something like that. Like Reva could really be hurting him or whatever. And I was like, is he gonna let this happen or what? Like, is he just gonna be there lurking in the shadows, just watch from afar? Like, is he not gonna speak up and say something? Like, come on, man. Like, we have this picture painted of Kenobi being like, you know, this pinnacle Jedi and this and that, and it's like we kind of see him not living up to that, like our vision of him, and it's just like, wow, to see this other side of him. It's kind of surprising, and it adds more dimension and depth to the character, which is kind of cool. I don't know, I liked it for the most part. Some of the CG was a little rough for me, I feel like, with that camel type creature. That was a little rough for me in the first episode. But besides that, just seeing Jimmy Smits come back, that was amazing. I love that man a whole lot. Seeing little Luke and little Leia, the Inquisitors were amazing. Reva, you know, she's quickly becoming one of my favorites. You know, she's just a powerhouse. She's a badass. We're just doing episode 1, right? Or are we doing everything?
No, do both. Do both. Yeah, do both.
Episode 2, I think, like, one of the first standout things was like, I was like, what the fuck is that, a raptor with the blaster? That shit blew my fucking mind. I was like, what the fuck?
Now,
all
wait,
I gotta say is, I
really
want
quick,
action figure
Gil,
of that.
did
What's
you
that?
notice, and a lot of people missed it, did you guys notice the significance of the girl that sold Obi-Wan the spice?
The significance?
I saw on Twitter after fact, but I don't know if that's the same thing you're going with.
What did you see, Didge?
I saw that was Ewan's his daughter.
Yep, that's Ewan's actual daughter.
Oh,
His actual
really?
daughter, yeah, that sold him some spice. So I thought that was
cool.
pretty cool. And it's so funny because she's like, yeah, I was someone's daughter, and it's just like, yeah, you're Ewan's daughter. Like,
We know whose daughter you are.
Yeah,
cool.
it's just he's playing.
You're kind of familiar, kid.
Yeah, right. And it's so funny. Before I go right back to you, Gil, it's so funny, Jayla, because it's the first thought that I had when I was watching Stranger Things last season, I think it was, and I'm looking at I can't remember the character's name, but it's Ethan Hawke's daughter, and I'm just watching her, and I'm like, I swear to God, she looks so familiar. And then it comes out,
it's Robin.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And
She
then
does look just like him, though.
She does. So I'm like, bro, I know I'm not losing my mind. And then everyone's like, yeah, that's Ethan Hawke's daughter. I'm like, I knew it. I knew
She was also in Fear Street for the first Fear Street.
Oh yes, yeah, she was.
She was the Casey Baker.
Great.
But yeah. So I just wanted to point that out because that's always really cool when you can put your kids in stuff.
Robin.
Like a lot of people don't know that montage of Thor running in the
it's his
Love and Thunder.
daughter.
No, that's his son.
Son.
That's his son.
We were
Yeah,
saying
that's his
daughter's
son.
the last.
Really?
time.
Is it?
Right, yeah.
Oh,
That's his son.
his
So
son.
the first kid that's running, that's his son.
Oh, that's dope.
that's
I did not know
awesome.
that.
Yeah, so it's
That's so
always
cool.
cool to see people incorporate their kids into their world. So
The
I just
whole
wanted to point that
family's
out.
getting paid.
Right? His son's just like, Dad, no. I don't give a shit about being in the movie. You cut my check? Like, how many zeros you put on there? All right, just making sure.
At least
But
a mil.
yeah, at least. But go ahead, Gil, take us away.
Oh yeah. When we got Tamora Morrison as, like, at first I thought that was Captain Rex. I was like, oh shit, is this Rex? But I don't think it is Rex. I think it's just like
definitely not
a
Rex.
normal
That would
clone
be, that'd
trooper.
be sad.
He's one of the
You feel
One
that
of the
hard?
clones. He's off somewhere in that. Isn't he off somewhere in that world, like where they find him in Rebels? I can't remember what's the name.
No,
of the
he's
world.
not there yet. He's not there yet. But he's still somewhat mildly active. But that trooper is part of the 501st.
501st.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he was one of the, because a lot of people don't know. So if you watch Bad Batch and you see where obviously Tarkin is saying we have no use for clones anymore.
Yeah.
They just murdered off the clones.
Like all of them.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's one of the remaining stragglers that managed to escape and just fallen on hard times. So that's still always really cool to see some of the, and you know it's not Rex because he had hair.
Yeah.
Like,
That was the other thing.
Rex,
I was like, wait,
yeah,
that's
Rex
not
has
right.
either had a buzz cut or bald his entire life. So
But
it's
you know,
like,
you fall on hard enough times. That's theater's way of showing hard enough times is
I mean, look.
Grow out the straggly hair.
To be fair, Didge, I can't even argue that. Krillin died like 6 times, came back and magically had hair, and it was just like,
Yeah.
what happened? Like,
That's definitely the way that movies and TV shows show that hard times have happened. Is you magically get a crazy head of hair.
Right, from bald, like no hair to now you have a full head of hair, and it's like, what happened? Don't even worry about it. Stress. It's like I thought you lose hair.
Can't afford a razor.
Right. Yeah, I stressed so much. I skipped the hair loss phase and went right into gaining hair. And it's like, okay, that's new. Whatever. But all right, what else stood out to you, Gil?
The whole entire city, man, in episode 2 it was beautiful. Reminded me of like just like something cyberpunk. And I was just like, this is amazing. It's beautiful. I mean, we were kind of talking about the whole entire parkour thing. Parts of it was beautifully done. Kind of cool. I thought Reva was like a whole lot closer than the fuck she was, but I was like, God damn, this shit's still going on. She must have been all the way on the other side of the damn city, man. But whatever. But yes, parts of it was actually pretty beautifully shot and pretty cool. Oh my gosh, I cannot remember the character's name. The dude who plays also in the Eternals, the Indian actor.
Oh, Kumail Nanjiani.
Happy to see him.
I forgot his name in here. Crap.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Is that
Haja? Yeah, that's the
There we
Yeah.
go. Yes, that he was pretending to be a Jedi. I thought that was awesome. It was funny. It hit for me. I like that. Definitely. I would definitely watch more with him, and I hope he has more parts in the season. That would be pretty cool. And then I guess fast forward towards like the end, like when Reva almost has Kenobi pinned down, and then her going up against the Grand Inquisitor. I was just like, oh shit, is he dead? But after remembering, no, obviously he's not, because he has to be around. So it's like, damn, I almost like I completely forgot though. Like when I watched it, I was like, oh shit, like he's fucking done. Reva took him out. Mentioning Vader or mentioning Anakin, and then we get him kind of like in the tank and he's awake, and I was like, I cannot wait to see some of the Vader that we got in Rogue One in this series. Hopefully it's like to that level, and it's like some badass. I want to see like an amazing fight between the two of them, or possibly even like a team up or something like that. I think it's kind of like crazy and it probably won't happen, but I would honestly like a team up, like both of them against the Inquisitors. For whatever reason, the Inquisitors pissed them off, and like he's like, back the fuck up, and they don't want to listen. And if they team up again, I was like, I don't know. I know it probably won't happen, but that's just what's going on in my head. I was like, that would be kind of cool to see them like back to back, helping each other, fighting all the Inquisitors. I was like, oh, that would be amazing.
I don't disagree with that at all. And look, if we know one thing, we know that there were 2 days of Vader's life that he always looked back on with the most fond. And that was the day that Palpatine said he could kill the Inquisitors, and then the day he was able to redeem himself for his son. Those are the 2 best days of Vader's life, is when he got the green light of, hey, we don't need Inquisitors anymore. We can go ahead and get rid of all that. Vader was just like, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Like, that's awesome. Because I know a lot of people
say less.
Say less. Like all Palpatine said was Inquisitors, and he said kill them all. Gotcha. He's like, whoa. But I know a lot of people are very confused because Rebels kind of painted the line of Vader being like a mentor. But Vader was never okay with the Inquisitors. He was never okay with them. He always viewed them beneath him.
Hated them.
He did not like them whatsoever. There was no work relationship. Yeah, it was very much just like, y'all do know y'all not me, right? Like, all right, just so y'all know, he'll never love you like he does me. Just
so y'all can die any second. Just let you know, any second you can die.
Right, like I could kill you right now, and there'd be no consequences. Just so we're clear. We're clear. Okay, good. To your point, Gil. Before I pass it on, I did not like that she knew that Anakin was Vader. That is something very important to Vader. Vader used to kill people for seeing him without his helmet on.
Not too many people knew that. So I was actually very surprised. I was like, I thought this was like a top
well, secret. as far as we know, Tarkin and why do I always
Thrawn.
forget his name?
Thrawn.
Tarkin and Thrawn know, but they don't know because someone told them. They kind of just figured it out and never
Yep.
really brought it up. But they're like, I know you're Anakin, right?
This
Yeah.
goes back to, remember last time, I think it was last week when we were talking Star Wars, and I had asked if Obi-Wan had knew. Well, now we know it got rewritten that now he does know. Remember, at the time we were saying, that he didn't know.
Well, remember, in Revenge of the Sith, he did know. So what they did in Revenge of the Sith was Kenobi had the same kind of experience Ahsoka did in Rebels.
That's right.
Where know, because remember, he saw the footage where Palpatine swearing him in as Vader.
Yeah.
So he knew that Vader was being used. It was one of those, there's just no conceivable way Anakin would have fully turned or lived. You're absolutely right. Yeah, could have lived. But it fully turned into becoming Vader. It was like when Ahsoka saw him in Rebels, to where she was just like, because remember, Clone Wars ended with her feeling the darkness in Anakin. But in her mind, there's just no way my master would have ever done that, right? And then you start to hear the murmurs of Anakin died in Mustafar, right? And it was just like, well, there's no way that the person in that suit is Anakin. He died. So it was more so of, I don't want to believe it, right?
Right, I think that's, and I do think that's where we left off with it. I do think that
a lot of people do forget the him watching the security footage.
Yeah,
seeing Palpatine swear Anakin in. A lot of people forget that scene, so they're like, nobody didn't know.
He was like, who could have done this?
Yeah,
and then Yoda
Palpatine
said,
comes
if you
in.
look at that, your heart's gonna get broken. And he looked at it, and you
and
were
Kenobi
like,
was just like,
come on.
Oh, yeah. See, you know what happened? Kenobi was talking to Trevon, right? And Trevon was just like, yeah, put your expectations out there. It's okay if you get hurt. Watch it. Watch it. And Kenobi was like, yeah, you're right, Trevon. Let me watch it. As soon as he finished, why did you tell me to do that? Like, this was, I didn't want to see any of that. So that was one of the things that bothered me, because no one, especially on her level, should know that Anakin is Vader, and let alone just saying it out loud for anyone that walks by to hear that. I didn't like that. That should never be something people just generally know.
A random trooper that's over there just like cleaning some shit up, like,
right?
Did you hear that?
He looks back like
this so alive, and he's like,
he's hitting his comms now, like, Vader's Anakin.
You know he went to Star Wars Twitter with that immediately and was just like, yo, Star Wars TMZ, I know about Anakin Skywalker, yo, like, he's Vader, like, yo. But also, one of the moments that was probably the most emotional for me was, I want Star Wars to do a what if desperately.
Yes.
And I felt that the most strongly when Kenobi's watching the farm and Luke runs off to go act as if he's piloting his own ship. And I was just like, Anakin would cry so hard seeing that, seeing his son just so adventurous, right? Like, he just wants to be out there. And then Leia, by the way, I want to give credit. Vivian Lyra Blair is who plays Leia. And can I just say, it's as if she's always known who Leia was, right? And it's just like, she's just embodied her, right? Like, Carrie Fisher came down and said, here's my essence, take it and go be great, right? Carrie would have cried seeing how good she was.
For sure.
It's Leia. Like, she is a standout. I haven't been this moved really from a child actor since, again, I'll go back to this, since Millie Bobby Brown in that first season of Stranger Things.
No, I agree. I agree.
Damn, children can act this good? Like, when did you learn?
Once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon.
My goodness gracious. So she just completely just embodies, like, she not only embodies Leia, she embodies Padme. Like, she's a little Padme.
For sure. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like, she's just embodying a little Padme. So I loved everything about her performance. She definitely made it. And not to take anything away from Ewan, kind of like you wouldn't take anything away from Hugh Jackman, but it's your other half, your child other half, that just brings that shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that line in Logan where he says, well, what else did Charles? No, where she goes, Charles always told me that you wanted to die. And he's like, oh, yeah, what else did Charles say? Not to let you. The way she delivered that line was so perfect, right? So to me, when Leia is looking up at him and she's like, oh my God, you are a Jedi. It's like, yeah, I've only been trying to tell you that for like an hour now. Like, stop running. Yeah, I'm a Jedi. But it's like she just captured, and like you said, Jimmy, I am a massive fan of his. I became a massive fan of his, obviously from the prequels, but more so Sons of Anarchy. That's when I was just like, I fucking love Jimmy Smith with all my heart.
Have you ever seen him in Price of Glory? Sorry.
No, I'm trying to.
It's a boxing movie where he got 3 sons.
No, but I'm putting it in my list now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
It's an amazing movie. Makes me cry.
All right, put that on my list now. But seeing him return was always one of those things where it's like, he has to. That's not a question, right? Of like, oh, could he? He has to. He's very important to this time frame of the galaxy. And I love the line that Leia delivers to where she's just like, I don't want to do any of this. And then he's like, well, that's what will make you great, right?
Yeah.
Is that people live to do this job and they suck at it. You don't want to do this job and you'd naturally be great at it because your mother was the bee's knees, right? Your mother was the be all. So I just loved everything about it. And last thing, before I pass it to you, Ash, that I literally lost my mind about is like mother, like daughter. How did the prequel start? Padme had doubles, right? How does this start? Leia tried to use a double, right? Like, I just loved that she just naturally just knows all of her mom's tactics, right? Never met her a day in her life, was never raised by her, but just naturally, she's just Padme. She oozes it, right? And that's why, to your point, Didge, where Obi-Wan was saying, like, you remind me of someone. Originally, before he said her or she, I did think Anakin too, because I'm like, since the moment he found her, she listened to nothing.
Nothing at all.
And I'm like, that's an Anakin special. To where it's like, hey, Anakin, do me a favor, stay here with Padme. Don't leave. Anakin's like, all right, don't leave. Cool. Boom, Anakin's gone. You blinked, he's gone. Where did you go?
He didn't hear the don't. He was like, oh, leave?
He didn't hear the don't.
Leave,
like,
okay.
Perfect. So I loved it, but it was one of those moments that I was just like, man, I would have loved for Anakin to see his babies, right? To like just see his babies grow up, not necessarily be there, but just like have a bird eye view of just seeing how much of him is in them. So oh man, that got me. It got me, man. I hope to see more of Leia going forward. I hope to see a little bit more of Luke, even though I get why we're not seeing a lot of Luke, because it kind of feels like we've seen everything of Luke, right? And it's like, let's get a little bit more to Leia, right? Like, how was it for Leia growing up? So I do appreciate that. But really quickly, Ash, let's see what they're saying in the comments section. Moses Ingram has already had a ton of racist abuse. We know that comes with the Star Wars territory. For some strange reason, people believe the galaxy far, far away is just restricted to a specific race. So I think anyone could have expected that. It's whatever. Would you say, Trevon?
Nothing.
I hate you. Stop saying stuff if you're not going to speak up.
I'm just saying how it started. I mean, there was like 2. I mean,
what do you mean?
There weren't that many black people when it started.
What, in Star Wars? Oh no, of course not. But
saying, like,
there weren't that many black people in comic books either. That don't mean you relegate the continuing it to be that way. You update.
I mean, yes, we get that, but
yeah. What did I tell you before, Trevon? I'm not interested in the people that don't want to see that the world's just bigger than them, right? I have no interest in them. My interest is in for people that want to move forward in life, not backwards. So I'm not here to appease, to them. Sorry, I don't know why my Siri just popped up, but no, you can go. Thank you. Siri was just like,
your sound got like weird for a second.
Yeah, you got louder.
Right. For some strange reason, I was talking about how like I want to move forward, not backward, and Siri was just like, "You called? No, like weird ass Siri. Is my Siri racist? But
Little bit.
listener Jim says the one thing I've had a problem with all of Marvel and now Star Wars series is we always have the main characters are always broken. I know it's cool to see the characters have the ups and downs, but it's getting used up. Sorry for the novel. I disagree because narratively it works. So narratively,
Yes, sir.
Kenobi's in a space to where he is, you know, in a position where he's broken. If you're referring to like Hawkeye, that actually made sense for that character also. He just lost Nat, right? He just got his family back. Now he's seeing that he has to jump back into the life he was hoping to never have to jump back into again. He very much didn't want to bring on somebody and then risk losing them the way he lost Natasha. So it's like, I get it. It's not a narrative I want them to continue to use, but it's one that works. The Logan one, that was the only way you could have ended that story.
I love
the only way you could have
characters.
ended Logan. Yeah, to me, it adds another dimension to them that we don't usually get. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, remember we used to always read Superman just happy, like, hey, I'm saving the day. It's like, you don't have one bad day where you're just like,
everything's always this good.
yeah, like, come on, man. Like, I'm just used to the polar opposite. Like, Batman, nothing ever goes right? Superman, everything's always beautiful. It was interesting when they flipped it, where you saw
Injustice.
a happy side of Batman. Yes, Injustice, essentially, right. But even more so than that, just seeing a world where Superman's world's not always perfect, seeing that Bruce can carve out a little bit of happiness, it was refreshing because it's like, okay, good. Happiness and sadness does exist. It's not just, you know, black and white. Like, he has to be happy, he has to be sad. So I'm not against it. I'm not against it at all. What's up, Major Reaction? What's going on?
Oh, that's Matt. That's one of my co-hosts right there.
Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on? Thank you for joining in. We appreciate it. Ash, I'll kick it over to you. What were your thoughts on these first two episodes?
Loved it. Like, I loved both of it. Like, both of them. Well, excuse me. Both of the episodes. I'll start with Riva. I absolutely love her. I love that she is this headstrong, really, really arrogant Inquisitor. And I think she's absolutely like one of the Padawans that was in the temple there, because you really can't just you can't really just show that Order 66 scene in the way that you do. And like, it just, everything always has to connect, and every single thing in Star Wars always connects. Nothing is ever left undone. We can look at the first 4 episodes of Boba Fett, how like it came wrapped up around in like the second to last or whatever episode it was. And so also like going back to like the reading of the mind, right? Like, again, like that's like a Jedi mind trick that we know that she does. So like, I'm interested in that aspect. And so like, I really, I like her, and I like the fact that like, she's just like, she doesn't mix her words, and like, she means what she says. And like, she'll like she chopped that woman's hands off without question, just for saying you don't belong here. Like, what? Like, my good sis, it's only the first episode. It's only episode 1. But like, that's what I love about her. I love that she says to was it third brother, whoever it was, where she was like, yeah, you don't go far enough. And I'm like, that's my girl. That's my girl. I want you to go far.
Yeah.
I want you to go far, because when you die, you don't deserve it. You absolutely don't deserve it. But I want you to, oh, absolutely.
As long as that's clear, she will die.
I want you to burn shit down and fuck shit up for as long as you can. Yeah. Absolutely. And I just want Vader to be the one to take her out. I'm just saying. Like, anybody else, we having issues. Even if it's Kenobi, we having issues. Yeah. Okay? Vader needs to take her out. I love Leia. I love Leia. Oof. That girl though. she needs her ass whooped. But
for reals.
But I love her. And she is everything Vivian just like embodied episode 4 Leia. Like, just at that beginning, like just that opening sequence with her. And I love that she just really embodies her. I love the small nods that we got to episode 4 Leia, episode 5 Leia with the jacket. I love that we got the reverse of "Help Me, Obi-Wan Kenobi," like where he walks in and like he leans, and it's just there's so many ways that this show just nods to both the prequel and the original trilogy that I love, and I love that she's also the embodiment of both Padme and Anakin. But I love even more so that we're getting more so of that Padme aspect from her, because we don't, she's left out of the narrative oftentimes, just like Leia is sometimes left out of the narrative. So I love that this show is giving them their shines in these small ways. And then I love this Kenobi. I love that he's lost his way. I think this fits perfectly for him with his transition, like between Revenge of the Sith to what he was in Rebels to what he ends up being in A New Hope when we see him there. And so I think this is perfect. I love that, like, he has to save Leia, that like that's what gets him to like use his power. And then I love, and I think it's my favorite moment in the entire 2 episodes so far, when he realizes that Vader's alive. Like, I don't like that Reva knows. I don't think she should know. Like, I hope they address that and they give a really good reason. But Ewan McGregor's acting in that scene, from realizing it to saying Anakin before we get to see Hayden, like, and at least I hope that's Hayden. Well, it is Hayden in that tank, in the back to tank. Like, it was just, oof, it was amazing. And I've rewatched the episode like 3 times now because I really loved it so much. And I hope that they start episode 3 with a bang, and they have to, because you can't end like that. And that's my thoughts on it so far.
I mean, I'm 100% with you. I'm hoping that they understand that you got to come heavy in episode 3, especially with a lot of people.
Start with Vader.
Right.
Start with him.
I would love that.
Start with him.
Man.
Start with him coming out that tank.
That would be amazing. That would be
like,
amazing.
They gave it to us in Rogue One, but you really couldn't see anything. This is like the clearest we've seen him since what episode? Let me do my math. Episode 6, right? Like the way
the actual Darth
like,
Vader, yes.
Darth Vader, like not like, right?
Yeah.
And if you are going to like give us that shot, like that shot is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. If you're gonna give us that shot, you got to give us more. Like, you have to start the episode there.
Well, like that shot
for my sanity.
One of my friends was talking to me about it. He was like, that shot was almost like a jump scare, because you thought when he said Anakin that it was just gonna go to black, like that episode was over. And then when it just jumps to the tank, you're like, oh shit. Like,
and his eyes open up.
Right.
all he did was breathe.
Right.
Like, that's all he did. He just opened up his eyes and breathe. Like, that's how strong their connection to the Force with each other is.
I just love like, that shot look too. It was a well done shot.
It was beautiful. Yeah.
And we know that Vader wakes up every day. Like, you know, when people say like, oh, did you wake up with the shits? Like, Vader, that's why his eyes is red. Vader just wakes up with hate. He just wakes up like, I hate a motherfucker. Who? I don't know, to anybody. Like, anybody. Specifically today, Kenobi. Like, he just wakes up always ready to go.
Like, that motherfucker alive. I'm coming for you.
100%. Didge, as I pass it to you, I want to pass it to you with this thought. Okay. So it stood out to me that Kenobi keeps calling for his master, right?
Right.
Not getting a response. I believe that he's partially not getting a response because he separated himself from the Force. So it's an ability he does not have. But I also want to believe that what they're doing is that he has to earn that moment. And the way for him to earn that moment is to face Anakin and lose. And then essentially not really know what to do with himself. And then that's when Qui-Gon comes and tells him, like, hey, didn't I ask you to take care of this motherfucker? I
don't know if Qui-Gon's going to come to him scolding him. Like,
I hope he does.
You want him to come through. Like, what the fuck was that?
I want Qui-Gon to pop up. I want him to pop up with a head wrap on, just like, didn't I fucking tell you to make sure you took care of the kid? what is this? Like,
Force-
he didn't understand.
Force ghost ass whooping.
Yeah,
He deserves it. He deserves it too. Chopped off his damn legs.
Like,
Qui-Gon
Kenobi's just
saw that
like-
shit.
Yeah, Qui-Gon
Sorry.
saw that just like
He was watching on Mustafar.
Like, what dog?
Bro, that's not helping. What are we doing here?
Like that's the exact
Yeah.
opposite of what I told you to do.
Yeah, like
damn.
you know when Anakin was facing the light on his way out, he saw Qui-Gon and was just like, dog, you told him to kill me? He's like, I didn't tell him to do none of that.
This would not happen if you was here. This is
No, yeah, I know, my bad, man, my bad.
He went pretty far. He went just a little bit overboard. He got lost in the moment. It's fine.
You know, Qui-Gon was sitting there just like, I knew when I told them that he did not need to be my Padawan anymore. I was hoping he took that as, get your ass up out of here. He took that as, let me stay here, let me take care of him, and then you just fucked it all up. Come on, man. You're supposed to be the chosen one.
Definitely just hit the face palm. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, like, come on, man. Now Qui-Gon had to put all his spirit in the loop. He's just like, now you got to be the chosen one. Like, God damn, your daddy failed. Shit, can you do it? But no, all jokes aside, Didge, so what did you take from Kenobi seemingly not being able to connect with Qui-Gon in the Force?
So we saw initially, like, Yoda basically was telling him that I'm going to teach you a way how to speak with them. But we know after that Obi-Wan is very broken. Like, we can see it just in his day-to-day interactions, how cold he was, and essentially everything that he was telling, like when I know we said it earlier, but I forgot the other Jedi's name. When he shows up and how his interactions with him, and even his first interactions with, they were trying to get him to save Leia. Obi-Wan was very much content with just saying everything else is hopeless until I can talk to, or until it's time for me to train Luke. So I think it was sort of that mental block that whatever Yoda did teach him, he has that mental block of, I can't do it. He doesn't really believe in himself anymore. He, like you said, the fight is over. Mm-hmm. So I think that was huge onto why he can't speak with Qui-Gon. And I think that's sort of what the crux of the series is going to be, is his journey into being able to speak with Qui-Gon. I don't think we're going to see it until probably the last episode. It seems like it's very quintessential in that aspect. But I enjoyed both episodes so much.
Right.
Like I was saying earlier, Star Wars was something I was able to watch with my dad growing up. So I talked to him about the episodes, and one of the first things that he talked about, he was like, it makes sense now when Luke was going to save Leia. As soon as he mentioned the name Ben Kenobi, she sort of perked up, and I went back to watch it earlier, and it's like, now it makes sense why she was so. Yep. Why as soon as he said Ben Kenobi, she was like, "Oh shit, Ben, let's go. We're good. we're good," because it makes sense now. Like, she knows Ben together. Shows up, shit gets done.
Yep.
So like, just seeing that, I was like, that's amazing. You have more insight on why she named her son Ben. Yep. Like, we know how much that name means to her now. So I really love that. Reva, I talk all the time how much I feel like if I ever had the Force, I would for sure go to the dark side, because the dark side just seems like it seems like the sexier side. Like,
honestly, you're right. You absolutely right. Because I would be too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving to see just the dark side and all their general badassness, just being able to do more, especially Reva. She's hot-headed, ready to just be like, look, I'm gonna get my way. I will figure this out. So like, seeing her cut the lady's hand off, basically ready to kill Uncle Owen. Like, it was very, none of this matters unless all I need is my goal. And you can tell how that's going to get her killed in the end. 100%. But damn if I'm not going to love seeing that journey. Like, it's for sure going to get her killed. Like, I get it. I see it already, but it's going to be a fun journey to watch. And I was just so excited. And like, not only with the episodes themselves, to see the lead up to the episodes. Like, I know now I'm just getting out into like Star Wars Celebration itself, but like, to see Hayden Christensen talk about like, this is where the fun begins again, and just the entire crowd erupted. I had tears. I was like, yes,
Ooh.
lead me right
Ah.
into the episode. Like it all felt like we're here. When this is what it was all waiting for. So like I'm so excited to see the next episodes. And yeah, we need that Vader spinoff. They can go ahead and just announce that today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and look, I mainly love it because I think when he got up on stage and we saw the love that he was receiving, he spoke to this in an interview. He was saying that he doesn't think it was all hate back then. It's just you didn't have a media or just somewhere to kind of take the good and kind of block the bad. The bad was just so loud, right?
And I think it also helps that all of those kids who were back then, who grew up like us, we grew up on that era.
Right.
Now we are the ones who are out there everywhere, letting you know, like, no, you heard the random adults who nostalgia is everything, you know. Everybody's like, oh, this isn't as good as mine, but it's like, no, let me tell you, yes, it was. This is great. Yeah. And you're hearing those people who grew up on it, who it impacted them so much that now you can see that because they have more of a voice.
Yeah, I appreciate the old and the new. I do too, for sure. I have Return of the Jedi is the second best Star Wars movie to date. I believe nothing overtakes Revenge of the Sith. It's Revenge of the Sith, then Return of the Jedi, then it's Rogue One, and then literally whatever else you want to put.
I'd flip Rogue One and Return of the Jedi.
Ooh,
wow!
They're equal for me.
I see it though. I see the vision.
Back and forth,
wow.
but they're back and forth for me.
It's so good.
I believe.
I was shocked at how good Rogue One was. To be fair.
The only thing that separates me, because I'm not saying that movie is bad at all. I left that movie going, you killed everybody? Like, you can...
What do you expect?
I will say
character that we've never heard about before.
I will say this though. The one advantage I believe Return of the Jedi has over Rogue One is that one has Luke Skywalker, one doesn't. That's really it.
Fair.
That's really
That's
it.
very fair.
That is really it for me.
But see, for me,
that's really it for me.
For me, it was because like Ash said, they could have very well been equal. But that last scene in Rogue One, just to see Vader in his element, and Vader is by far my favorite Star Wars character. Vader
always tough for me. It's all so. Wait, let me ask you this: Didge, do you separate Vader and Anakin? Because
I like Anakin a lot too, but it's just something when he's Vader. So I have to separate them.
I separate them, and that's why I go Luke, Anakin, then Vader, then Kenobi, then I go God damn, why am I blanking on her name? Bo-Katan. No, Bo-Katan. Then Ahsoka, and then literally anyone else you want to put.
No, I was gonna make a joke, but I feel like I've learned that I can't joke with Star Wars fans because they might come to me these days.
Well, now I want to hear the joke. What was the joke?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, you can't do that. You gotta tell a joke now.
Yeah, you can't pull a Trevon. You gotta say it.
Well, I just want to say that I feel like Jar Jar Binks is the best above Vader and Anakin. And he would kill them.
Let's go. See,
the joke doesn't work if you make me say the joke.
It was better when you thought it
was. It would have been.
It was just better when you thought it.
You had me up until you said on top of Vader. And
because I love
you had me.
Yeah, I love Jar Jar Binks. I even love the myth that Jar Jar Binks is a Sith.
Oh, that was my favorite. That was my favorite theory ever. I
wish that would have been.
No, I don't like it because I like Jar Jar is a good guy. Leave him alone.
Here's the reason.
The Jar Jar.
Leave him alone. He's already done
Jar Jar is the greatest ever.
I rewatch Phantom Menace, and if you rewatch that with Jar Jar being a Sith in your mind, he literally started that war by accident, right? Just bumping into it, it hit fire. Then it's like so much about Jar Jar. You look at it, you're kind of just like, if he was evil, he was really good.
If it showed in episode 3 that he's the one who's pulling all of the strings, it would have been so amazing.
I'm a Jar Jar apologist then, and you can't take it from me.
No, I love Jar Jar. That's what I'm saying. I love Jar Jar. I just also love the narrative that Jar Jar was a Sith. I'm like, that's brilliant.
I can't
It was
subscribe to that.
so
I'm
great.
sorry.
I love the concept.
He was being helpful.
but
He was
before-
just clumsy. Leave him
But
alone.
see, that's perfect because look, the reason why people develop that theory is because of Kaiser Soze. So it's like that's the perfect Kaiser Soze. Is that it's like, oh, that's the least person you'd expect to be evil or to be.
It was that,
Sith
and
or
then the
anything
drunken
like that.
fist that they used to have in martial arts movies, the drunken master, all the
Oh,
time.
okay. Yeah.
And it's just I love that trope in martial arts movies of the drunken guy who was like, oh, this is the guy you really needed to talk to.
Yeah.
I
loved it too till Iron Fist tried to do it, and I was just like, yeah, well,
I don't talk about that.
Kaiser
I don't talk about that one.
All right, before we move on, let's see what we're saying here. Okay, my one and only beef, Vader has been running the Empire for 10 years, and Obi-Wan Kenobi had no idea that he was alive. Come on. Well, he separated himself from the Force, so he couldn't feel Vader. That's one. And two, he did believe...
They're on Tatooine.
Right, and he also just believed that he died in Mustafar. So to him, it was more so just like, I don't know what's happening. Like, again, he's on Tatooine, and until this show, it was made to believe that Kenobi has really no idea what's going on outside of just Tatooine.
With anything, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the idea of, and again, a lot of it is, because I know a lot of people think it's like a loophole, but a lot of it was just pure, I don't believe it. Like, I hear it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. I don't believe any of it. I watched him die in Mustafar.
Mhm.
No
that's
way
what she
that
says. You didn't know. And just like look at rewatch that scene and just pay attention to his face.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
everything
the-
about
the
his face just
devastation
says
was-
like what?
Hold on. Go ahead, Trevon. Go ahead.
No, I'll wait to my part because I always had a problem with something. Go ahead.
You want to wait? Okay. Let me see what else is.
All
All right. Let me see what else they're saying here. All right. A lot of folks forget Obi-Wan's last memory of his friend Anakin was when he was burnt to a crisp. There's no way he would know his friend was alive after that point. He never saw Palpatine's ship. Well, yeah. I mean, again, he was. He definitely thought he was a bucket of KFC up there in Mustafar.
Okay.
He did
exactly
think he
why
was.
he woke up like that in the back of the tank because
That
y'all
is
be
exactly
starting
why.
shit.
But to me, the main reason why I didn't look too much into it is essentially Ahsoka had the same thing in Clone Wars. She felt Anakin, right? She felt him turning, and then she felt, where she thought he died. And then remember Vader when he showed up to that planet and found that lightsaber. That was. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Ash, go ahead.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, go
also,
ahead.
I think a clearer example is in Rebels when they're flying. That entire scene in Rebels, and she's like, I know that.
Mhm.
I have this feeling. And then she doesn't even see him. And her face is just fear.
Right.
Like, what? Like, come on. It's very like and she was connected to the Force.
Right.
As
She
well.
still was.
So like if Kenobi has shut himself off from the Force from all this time, like there's no possible way that like he would know that he lived. You know, like he couldn't even talk to his master.
Now, if someone wanted to make the argument of Ahsoka, how did Ahsoka not know this whole time? I guess we have to wait and find out what Ahsoka was doing during the times of Vader's rise, right? So to me, I can give you that. I could 100% give you that. So where it's just like, Ahsoka, why wouldn't you try to, see if you could, I don't know, maybe try to get to him, get a hold of him, try to just figure something out. I could argue that, but Kenobi, once you shut off the Force, you shut off the Force. Like that's not, it's not like a faucet to where it's just like, I just turn it off, let me turn it right back on. No, that takes work. It's why that little girl was almost yeah, she was almost a chalk outline, right? Because it's not that easy to get back into
quick.
100%.
Yep. The show would have done it right then and there.
I understood what you're saying, Jayla. We almost got end credit scenes right then, right? So to me, it's like the Kenobi one makes sense. It's the Ahsoka one that they're gonna have to explain. But I can't wait till they do.
She was almost Gwen Stacy from Spider-Man.
Stop! Oh,
Right.
You know what? I can't even be mad at you because I definitely had that thought. I really
Yo,
did.
I was surprised that her
definitely
head
did.
didn't snap, you know?
as a Spider-Man fan, this will always haunt me. I can never run from it ever.
Sorry, Jayla.
Trevon, you're getting some love from the comment section. They're loving your background. Trevon always has the
thanks.
dope ass backgrounds. Trevon always knows how to bring it.
Yeah, that's
to find
amazing.
one with Ahsoka in it. So it's real hard. I was like, finally, I found one. Shit. There we go. So I put it up here. And then I had to adjust myself because I didn't want to be in front of Sabine. I was like, damn it. Like,
Wait, Sabine is on there?
a lot of work, man. Like, I was trying to find one.
Oh,
Like, they're
where
right
is
there.
she?
They're right here. The rebels are right.
Yeah, but hold on. No.
Yep.
No, I get that. But where's Bo?
I don't know.
You don't know. All right. So, Jayla, I'm
I
going
don't really care about. I don't really care about those. So.
Oh,
Between-
how
I'm
you
gonna
gonna do
pass it
that?
Sorry.
I'm going to go ahead and pass it to you, Jayla, because I got to move on from Trevon. He's hurting my heart.
I'm nervous after I started the show the way I did.
Yeah, Trevon's made me immediately forget how you started it, and now my
Good.
heart is breaking from Bo
He still doesn't
Katan's
watch all the
slander.
Clone Wars.
He Jedi mind tricked you for me, and I appreciate that.
He doesn't watch all the Clone
wait.
Wars.
Oh, wait, that is right. You haven't finished all Clone
Yes,
Wars. Thank you,
there you
Trevon.
go.
I remember now.
Right.
I remember now. Thank you.
Well,
Y'all throwing each other underneath the bus. Damn.
Yeah.
That's a cold word.
Fine.
Trayvon said,
Um, Trevon definitely said me. No, her. But Jayla, I'll pass it to you. What were your thoughts on these first two episodes?
Okay, so I know I shocked everyone earlier when I said that me and Star Wars have been a bit disconnected recently. I will say that as a kid, I loved the prequels. I was like popping out of our car, and like hitting my dad with the lightsaber when I was a kid. I remember that right after seeing one of the prequels. So I've loved Star Wars growing up, and this has been like reconnecting me to Star Wars. I'm so excited. The intro in the first scene and how that we get kind of a recap of the prequels through like a nightmare flash from Obi-Wan's perspective, as far as I read it, was awesome. I love that. I love the reveal of Anakin being alive still and seeing that weight kind of hit Obi-Wan. I adored that. The fight scene, especially episode 2 when they're on the roofs, I really love the choreography for that. That was awesome. I'm looking forward to this. Seeing Luke was really great, and that interaction had a lot of heart to it. It was really small, but still, it had a lot of heart to it. And the way I'm looking forward to seeing the interactions between young Leia and Obi-Wan as they go on, because I feel like, there's a lot of potential there, especially when he was like, oh, you remind me of someone I know, and like they're going back and forth. She really does remind me of Carrie Fisher, and that was really awesome to see. So it's all good for me. It's kind of like, reawakening my Star Wars love, bringing me back on board. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, they definitely, excuse me, went in really deep with the emotions. And that's why, like I said, that's why it's important to know the background of why everything hits so heavy. Right. And it's so important because look, when we get to Ahsoka's show, that's just going to be nothing but emotion hitting you hard when they find Ezra, when she meets back up with Sabine for the first time in God knows how long. All that's just going to hit you hard. It's like shit, especially if Ezra turns to the dark side. Right. It's
Well, who showed up?
You're late.
Wow.
Yeah, look
What
at
time
him.
did this
Look
start?
at him.
8:30?
Shame him. Everybody shame AJ. Shame AJ.
Shame.
Shame.
Did you watch Obi-Wan late as well?
Mm-hmm. Probably just finished it.
I bet you he was on time for that. I bet you were on time for Kenobi.
But you're gonna be
crazy.
Yes?
Y'all
It's
crazy.
late. All right. So
I'm not late. I'm actually early. So
What?
You don't matter enough for that statement to work, AJ. That's like what Beyonce.
I'm actually early. So.
Like Beyonce and Rihanna could say that. You can't just come on here and say that.
That's all. Just throw
Who are they?
tomatoes at him.
Who are they again?
Boom.
Shut up, AJ. All right. Let's see what the comment section's saying. Force aside, what about just the War Machine propaganda and the Vader ghost stories? I don't think Kenobi heard any of those. I don't think he saw any of the propaganda. I don't think he heard the war stories. I think Kenobi was very much just living out.
Touch for 10 years.
That's what I'm saying. He very much was just like no Force, no news, no CNN, like no Twitter.
He's been living like a hermit. Like that's like he literally he goes like 2 places to 3 to work, into town, and then to go visit Luke.
I love that.
The town is where his work is, so.
Okay,
I know what you meant.
I was trying to give him. I
know what you meant.
See, look at you coming in late, trying to correct people. The audacity. The audacity.
Yeah, mitigated gall. All right, Trevon, I'm curious to hear where you're coming from with your thought process here. You got us, the suspense is high. Go ahead and walk us through your first. Damn, let me finish passing it. Damn.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm sure. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So the first thing I thought about, I guess I'm skipping right to the end, but whatever. So Kenobi, being shot that Anakin's alive or whatever. I'm like, you didn't kill him. You just left him there to die. Same thing you did. Well, I guess you kind of expected, the other guy to be dead, but I was like, you kind of left.
You being burned by lava.
I can see
what you're coming from. I can see where you're coming from, Trayvon.
You just chop his limbs off.
I can't see it.
You see when you chop the limbs off, like he's not gonna bleed out because they technically were closed with the heat of the sword. So it's not like he's bleeding out. You kind of sever.
Yeah, but he's getting burnt to death.
Yeah, he was legit like half in the flame in the lava.
I feel like you should have cut his head off. You weren't really gone. Like
he's not a vampire.
I'm just saying.
okay, Trayvon.
I'm just saying. I don't understand.
You know what?
I don't get all the surprise.
Trayvon.
I don't understand the surprise of like, oh my god, he's alive. Oh my god, you didn't.
Trayvon subscribes to the double tap lifestyle.
They absolutely do. Absolutely. You didn't make sure they're gone.
He's literally by like lava.
He wasn't in the lava.
Was there a body? I don't know.
He was on the side.
I will actually defend Trayvon.
Let's go back.
I would defend Trayvon.
Palpatine was surprised and he was still alive.
I mean, yes, he was.
Remember Darth Maul? Remember Darth Maul?
Oh boy.
He survived getting cut in half.
Yeah.
So,
true.
Because it closed the wound. The sword closed like. It doesn't. You don't bleed out.
Why he survived?
That's why.
Also, Trayvon, one thing you are forgetting, just very small thing you're forgetting is where Anakin was positioned to where the lava is. That lava was like an ocean, right? Like there was a high tide for that lava to just rise on where that ground was there in Mustafar. So if you're Kenobi, you're thinking A, he'll die out. Or B, he will 100% catch fire on the rest of his body and then just burn to a crisp.
Or C, suffocate.
Suffocate, right.
Another. Okay, I guess another probably have.
And he did that to his best friend.
Why they even? Why they even?
Can't trust anyone these days.
Why you had to go there?
Can't trust anyone.
Wait, hold on. Time out. Hold on. What are you saying, Trayvon? What are you saying?
Why did you even have to fight there in the first place?
Well, that was Anakin happened to be there because he was killing off Vice.
The Separatists.
The rest of the Separatists. And then Kenobi just met him there. Yeah, Viceroy. Thank you. I couldn't remember the name. And Kenobi just met him there. So that's why he was there.
Stupid place to fight.
Well, again, time out. Again, it wasn't planned. So Anakin was already there. Kenobi thought he was going there to just talk Anakin off the ledge. Neither one of them were there expecting that kind of fight.
They weren't like
that.
They were like on their ship, like prepping their fight.
Yeah. So Trayvon, so it didn't work. Like when you start the fighting game and it says choose your location. Like
you
they didn't
saw him kneel in front of Palpatine in front of the like. You knew what you were going there. You know what you would get yourself into.
Honestly,
no, he thought he could bring him back.
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Hey, wait, Trevon.
I know what you were going there to do.
Trevon,
I know.
Do you not remember Kenobi's conversation with Yoda before heading to Mustafar? I won't kill him. So again, I don't think he went there to go kill him. I think he went there to try to talk.
But I'm just gonna chop off all his limbs. I'm gonna chop off all his limbs.
Trayvon, that's what he had. That's what he ended up having to do. He didn't go there like I'm gonna go here and chop Anakin's limbs.
Yeah, hold on.
That was kind of really evil to me. Cruel.
Did you watch The Northman?
Did I watch The Northman? No,
I did.
I missed it.
Yeah,
you watched it.
Thing.
So you thought that the way that the movie
wait, hold on, don't spoil
whoa. Sorry. I mean, the movie been out for like months. Like
I haven't seen it.
I'm just playing. I'm playing. But I definitely was.
It was rough.
I'm glad y'all stopped it. Definitely about to spoil.
Anyway, hold on. Anyway,
you know we always
to go back
at least once.
To go back to what you're saying, Trevon. To go back to what you were saying. It's all right. To go back to what you were saying. Kenobi chopping the limbs was a defense to Anakin's very aggressive offense. It wasn't like if Kenobi felt as though he had any other, he didn't feel as though he had any other choice.
Listen, he did not. He did. Okay, but first of all, if that was the case, wow. Hold on, give me a second.
Okay.
Because I always laugh at that line.
Kenobi like chop people up, like something wrong with him.
Wow, if that was the case, why would he be so arrogant? It's so boom. It's like, I have the high ground. Come on. He knew what he was doing.
No, but time out. That was a warning. He said, Anakin, don't. I have the high ground.
He knew why he went there.
He knew what he was going to do.
Yeah, that's why he gave him that warning.
That's what I'm saying.
But by that point, he knew Anakin was ready to kill him. So he's like, at some point, you got to be like, I got to fight now.
100%. Yeah.
That's like, okay.
I just think what's getting
he knew
lost.
What he was doing.
What's getting lost from what you're saying,
Obi-Wan
Trevon, is
he
left them there to die in pain. Like he wanted him to feel the pain. Like he
wanted him
to burn up
or
die. Like just cut his head off.
Burn up or die.
Just cut his head off. Just do just stop him. Just your best friend, your brother. And you
I love you guys.
Chop the limbs and let him lay there and burn the hell up.
One of the rules for the Jedi.
Evil.
Do not kill. Do you understand?
Excuse me, he kills Grievous.
You might as well.
He kills
Do you understand that rule for a Jedi?
He kills Grievous 30 minutes earlier in the movie. Okay, let's not.
Again, first of all, time out. No. What AJ is saying is
I know.
Jedis do not seek to kill. Him killing Grievous was self-defense. Grievous was gonna kill him.
Pick and choose the rules. Pick and choose, whatever. I don't know. I just felt like.
What about Mace
I'm gonna leave. On
what about Mace Windu? That was a defenseless
old
man.
Let me have my opinion.
That was a defenseless old man.
Okay, go ahead, Trevon.
Let me have my opinions about this stupid ass Jedi Order. Okay. All right.
I support you, Trevon. Don't worry, I got your back. I'm here for it.
Thank you. Okay, so let's go back to the actual episodes, I guess. Let me get to that now. Okay, so I was annoyed with Obi-Wan at the beginning of the episode. I love the show. I'm just saying. I was annoyed with him in the beginning. I was like, okay, so you're just not gonna do anything. You're not gonna help this guy. I at least thought at the beginning when the guy was like, oh, my family, I don't have any money. I just knew he was about to give him his money, right? I was like, well, damn, you just are. I was like, what happened? Like,
I did too. I thought Obi-Wan was definitely going to at least give him some money.
No, but I like that. I like that.
It told me that it's telling me that he is an asshole now. And that's, I got it at the beginning. Like, all right, he's an asshole now. Like, so you so you don't get a guy no money, that you don't need the money. The Jedi guy came up and said, I need help. I don't care. And then they call you like, Leia was take it. Oh, I don't care about her. I care about the boy. What? What's going on?
That whole Leia thing was that.
Oh my God.
You're not adding any context to what you're saying, Trevon.
What context do I need?
The context is I'll give you him not helping that guy out. But again, if I'm Kenobi, bitch, I just worked just as hard as you did to get my pay. I'm not about to fuck up my pay. Yeah, you fucked up your pay.
He's supposed to be Kenobi, right?
What that mean? What that mean? That don't mean
nothing. But he's
nice guy.
But
that don't mean
just
nothing.
like how Vader is no longer Anakin, Ben is no longer Obi-Wan.
Hold on. I'm saying that's time out.
That's an asshole.
No, that's context number one. That's context number one. Context number two is he specifically told the Jedi. He said, stop what you're doing, bury your lightsaber, and run. He didn't say, go fuck yourself. I don't care about you. I hope you die. No, he didn't. He specifically said, "Go run, go hide."
He lightweight did tell him, "You on your own, homie."
Like fuck off.
No, he told him he was
on
his
said
own.
fuck off.
But
Definitely
he
said he
told
was on
him,
his own. But he told him to like go. He told him basically,
He
you gotta
gave him
save yourself.
advice.
He gave.
Oh.
Yeah, he definitely.
Kenobi said, "Go do what I'm doing." He said, "You
and
see me laying low. You had to search hard as hell to find me, didn't you?"
Okay, we're gonna do this,
Go
right?
do what
Okay,
I'm
fine.
doing.
All right. What about Owen having a damn lightsaber upside his face and you stand there watching? You ain't doing nothing. You just stand there like,
hold on.
Is he gonna kill him? Is he gonna kill him? Is he gonna kill him?
Leaving out all the context. You're leaving out all the context.
Hold on.
I mean,
do you not remember the whole
Trayvon, I love you.
I'm just
do you not remember
I was
that?
thinking while I was watching.
I love that you just bring the spice.
Hold on, time out, AJ.
Trayvon,
Hold on, time out, AJ. AJ, we're just gonna say this, and I'm gonna let Trayvon finish because I want us to stop interrupting him. So we're just gonna let him finish. But I'm gonna just say this: Trayvon's pointing out how much of an asshole Kenobi is.
Mhm.
But I legit did 2 podcasts with Trayvon.
Mhm.
One for WandaVision, one for Multiverse of Madness, where he excused every fucking thing Wanda did. Every last death, every last...
Look.
And who cares?
This is why. This is why. Kenobi had a code, right? That he followed, right? He's supposed to be a good guy.
Like
Wanda's
Lori
not
Wanda
Lovegood,
never had
like,
no code. Wanda never had no code. Okay,
Okay.
Wanda
Go
gotta
ahead,
go
you
to
can
jail.
finish. Go ahead, you can
Okay.
finish, Trayvon. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Listen, Wanda had a hard life. Okay, she did what she had to do. That's it. Like,
Wait, and Obi-Wan did. Oh, let me stop.
Go ahead.
Obi-Wan was in his
Trayvon, go ahead.
code. Obi-Wan was in his Jedi code and his
Just go ahead.
code.
This
Okay,
is
Go ahead and
he was in
amazing.
his
finish,
code
Trayvon.
and his code. You
Just
should
go
keep
ahead.
following
This,
that code
Oh,
until
I
he
love
dies.
this.
Okay,
Just go
all
ahead
the
and
code
finish.
tell you
It's
died. Okay,
It's okay. Just go ahead and finish. Go
yeah, that's
ahead.
what happened to Anakin. The damn code.
Just
Anyway.
go ahead and finish.
I'm
Go
just
ahead,
saying.
Trayvon. It's
Like,
okay.
y'all keep defending them shit. Damn
Go ahead and finish.
Anyway, so look, okay, back to how you say it? Reva? I don't know how you say it.
Riva.
I even said badass bitch. I don't know. Just look, I really enjoyed her. Okay,
right.
so I really enjoyed her. Okay, so I like she just don't give a damn. Just chop people's hands off, and just I don't know why she want Kenobi so bad. That was not explained to me. I didn't understand that. I was like, what is this obsession? I don't get it. But that's what you gotta do. That's what you want. I guess it's just to get favored by Lord Vader, which I don't understand. Like, if you know who he is, why would you want to be any closer? Because you probably get closer to his lightsaber. I don't understand the thought of wanting to be closer. We just want to get chopped up. Like,
I kind of...
Where's the admiration? Where that coming from? Like,
I kind of been playing around with the concept of any of the kids that were able to make it out of the Jedi Temple. They got word that Yoda made it out, Kenobi made it out. They didn't seemingly make it out with younglings. They made it out solo dolo. So maybe some of these kids had built up hatred for the fact that these Jedi didn't do their job in protecting them, like making sure that, they got some of them out, right? So I'm thinking maybe it just built up resentment. And then the flip side of the coin is, I don't think anyone is aware of how much Vader hates said Inquisitors. So I think some of the Inquisitors are like, I really want to work with Vader. Like, that's the guy, right? And Vader's very much just like, you're nothing to me. Like, I hate you. I'll kill you.
So they're just like, so they haven't met him, like they don't know.
Well, a lot of the Inquisitors don't have access to Vader, right? So it's very seldom few that
They're
either
fanboys.
that either get sent on missions with Vader or literally report directly to Vader. But a lot of them are just looking at him from a distance, like, that's the fucking guy. Like, that's the guy, right? So she's
Vader up there.
Right, like, that's Vader. I want to get up there. And as soon as you get up there, Vader's like, so I'm letting you know, I killed the last 6 people that came up here. So just letting you know, you're going to die too. So it's more so of them just not knowing how much Vader hates them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, like, I got the reference. I don't know how do you pronounce her name? Is it
Reva?
Yeah, she definitely is trying to impress Vader the most. Like, she just will do anything to be like, I don't know if it's to be his right hand man, but just to completely impress him, and see her as probably the best Inquisitor.
Little does she know, if they ever make it canon again, Starkiller's sitting in the throne room just like, oh, who is she? Like, who is this?
It was
too much. She's doing the absolute most to get him on on his good side.
100%. He has no good side. That died.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Trayvon.
Oh, thank you. I was like, so
I know what you mean.
Losing battle. I thought it was very interesting where they were all together and the Grand Inquisitor was like, "You're the least of us."
Oh yeah.
I kind of read into that a little farther than I probably should have. Like,
oh, me too. Me
I was
too.
like, so
it felt a little weird.
That?
It felt a little weird.
You know,
Oh,
it did.
Exactly.
The darkest one up here.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
I can't even. Okay, so I don't agree with you, but I also have no argument against it because I definitely watched it 1 o'clock in the morning, just like there was a lot of hatred in how you delivered that.
Yeah.
It's like you're not one of us. That was like you ain't one of us.
And I said,
you ain't one of us.
I got the reason.
But what I think
wise.
it is, I think that like I'm going back to like where I think she was like one of the Padawans that's in there, and that like she's a Jedi that like was turned an Inquisitor. Because like what did Obi-Wan said to Leia, right? He said that Jedis, right? Inquisitors are former Jedi that now hunt their own, right?
Yeah.
When she was in the town square and she's given the speech and she's saying that they don't protect you, right? Like they won't do anything for it. So like that sounds like that's coming from the heart. Like she's not saying that to say that.
From a deep,
all of that's
place.
coming from the heart.
Yeah.
So like
it makes sense why she would know that Anakin's Vader, because like she didn't just say like, oh, Vader's alive. Like she was like, Anakin Skywalker's alive. Like how would she know that?
Yeah,
Obi-Wan literally didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's a problem. She should not have access to that information.
So that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But I think after I heard that theory, I was like, I don't know. And then now I'm like, because I didn't see it as that until someone pointed it out, and now I'm like, oh, maybe because
everyone that's theorizing that she just knew about Anakin from the Jedi from the temple, I think they're leaving out a very important part. The galaxy was told that Anakin died on Mustafar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's like, so for you to know that Vader is Anakin, that's access literally only 4 people in the galaxy have: Palpatine, Vader, Thrawn, and
Tarkin.
Yeah,
those are the only people that have that information.
And as we saw, which like eventually Obi-Wan knows, because like
right, but I just mean more so
prior to the show,
right? The inside circle of the Sith, like the only people that know that of the Empire are those
people that should.
I have a rebuttal for that. So I agree with you guys at first when I first watched it. I was like, that doesn't make sense. But when you look back into Clone Wars, you see Darth Maul already understands who Darth Vader is before anybody else. That's why he gave that warning to Ahsoka. Mm-hmm. So for me personally, I think anybody that's in tune with the dark side knows who Darth Vader is. I wouldn't say personally, but they know who Darth Vader is. Anakin's Darth Vader and stuff like that.
But she was like 10 years old when it happened.
No, I'm talking about now. I'm talking about now. So I don't think she found out until she actually became an Inquisitor.
I don't know. Again, like I said, I watch Vader kill people for just seeing him without his mask on. So I'm like, Vader knowing that she knows would have easily been the quickest way for her.
He's ugly.
Okay, damn, Trayvon. All right.
Well, I'm just saying. You know, that's another thing. That's another thing. Why they had to burn him up? Why they like? I don't understand that when they did that. Never mind, not even over there. All right, let's move on.
Why they have to burn him up?
Why he gotta look like that? Why he gotta look like that?
Trayvon, they were fighting in a planet of fire.
Lava, you know.
Make him ugly. Why you gotta make him ugly? But anyway,
like,
it's
lava.
Now.
Yeah, he's fighting in a whole planet.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's kind of the reason why I kind of didn't want him to fight there. Like he had to make him.
They had to do skin grafts
again. It wasn't
him.
planned.
Like he was burnt. That's like July.
That's terrible.
Left on the grill a little bit too
literally,
long.
people even call it was like pre-Crisp Vader, and then like now Vader, and I'm like,
he need to keep the mask on. Anyway, so let's see. Let's move on. So let me go.
He will. You don't have to worry about that. He will. He'll keep his mask on.
I hope so.
He will.
So
I don't want him to. I want to see hidden.
That's not hating. I don't know what it is. Let's see. So
that's you saw his eyes. Those were his eyes.
Yeah, that's not. That's that. Yeah, that's yeah. I can't see that. I can't. I see the rest of it.
Wait, shout out to the Geek Out Network. Part of the Inquisitor onboarding process is you find out Anakin is Vader.
Well,
welcome to the program, Anakin's Vader.
I think the onboarding packet they get.
It's like on the last. It's like second to last
for the
page.
new employees.
I'm picturing Didge.
Oh, yeah.
I'm picturing sitting in the middle of the class, and then out of nowhere you just hear someone go, "Anakin's Vader," and they're like, "Whoa, what? Like, what page is that?" It's like 36. It's like,
is it when they get called like third brother and fifth sister, they're just telling them like, "Hey, 4 other people died before you." Like,
it's essentially their version of the rank.
Sorry, I always want to ask that question.
No, that's a fine question.
Like,
that would be funny. That'd be
that would be
tragic way to do
funny
it.
as hell if that's if that's
what
what
I thought. That's also what I thought. I was like, I never hear 1, 2, 3. I always hear like third brother, fifth sister, sixth sister. I'm like, so what happened to the other ones? Like,
well, you know what?
Before you're
not necessarily wrong.
Where everybody else at?
All of them do die, so it is very much just like, yo, you heard what happened to first sister? Yeah, she died. It's like, well, who are you? I'm second sister. It's like, ooh, be careful. Like,
you're next.
She died pretty brutally.
Yeah. Oh damn, he didn't have to do her like that. Like oh my god. Let me not get into it. I'm not just sorry, Trevon. Continue. I apologize.
No, you're fine. I thought it was funny that he knew exactly where his lightsaber was in that desert. You know, I just thought I was okay. Well, all right.
That was like, what the fuck? How does he know the exact coordinates?
I called that when I saw it in the trailer.
I will say I was very disappointed that Qui-Gon's lightsaber wasn't also in that box. I was really hoping Qui-Gon
I was surprised with that.
Yeah.
The baby killer and his. That was it.
Okay, so somebody kind of baby killer. About the lightsaber thing. I'm like, I've been like, now that I have this information, like, and I got to see with my own eyes, I've been like hella depressed about it because now that I know about it, I'm like, I wish I didn't know. That somebody basically said was like, maybe one of the reasons that Obi-Wan like buried his lightsaber is because he couldn't bear, like, he didn't have a body of Anakin's to bury. So that was like the closest thing. And I was like, I didn't need that. Thank you for ruining my night and ruining.
He left him there to burn and die. He didn't care.
Yeah,
I don't agree.
You have to stop that, Trevon.
I'm with you,
Trevon.
I'm with you.
I see. Do you know how often I see that?
I'm a little bit bitter.
Every time I see Obi-Wan, I'm like,
bitter
you
with
really
Trevon tonight.
Cut his limbs off and left him there.
Yeah,
like,
Trevon.
It's just really awful to me.
After said, I have the high
He ain't no
ground.
saint. He ain't no
What
saint.
else? Hold on. What else, Trevon, from the episode did you want to highlight?
All right. I mean, y'all keep bringing back to that. Okay. Anyway. All right. So Leia was awesome. Love her. I was like, this is my favorite character until she did that thing where, oh my God, are you my actual kidnapper? And then she started running. I said, okay, now she's not my favorite no more. Like she annoyed me at that point. I was all for her. I said, this is awesome. She's great. This is great. She's so cute and running away and stuff. Fun. Then when he was trying to get her to safety, she like, are you my kidnapper? And then she started running. I'm like, this is not the time at all. Like, this is not the time.
I literally, me and Blake were both like, people are gonna like, oh my God, people are gonna be so angry with little Leia for no reason. And like, oh.
And I was like, put her hood on. Like, why is she walking around without the hood on?
No,
I was like,
running
they're
away.
gonna see y'all. Like, it was just so. Some of the things when he took his hood off, I was like, what are you doing? Like, literally, everybody has a picture of you. What are you doing, sir? Put the hood back on. Tighten that shit up. Put her hood on, and y'all walk a little faster, a little brisker. Like, you know, let's get it moving. Like, so this is my thoughts. These like sorry, but so when they were on the roof, right, and Raven was like, "Oh, I hear him over there," and like I thought the parkour was cool, but it did take her forever. And I was like, okay, so like she was doing all this, like I felt like she was force jumping, and I thought to myself, like, okay, how far can they force jump? Like, because I was
like extra.
I was like, I thought about. You remember? I don't know how many y'all seen Shang-Chi. Anyway, when the dad jumped across the river, I was like, with the fort, like kind of his force rings. I was like, can she do that? Like, just force your ass over there.
There's
I was like, it would take you a long time.
There's no specific distance that they can jump, but if you're wondering why she didn't jump from her roof all the way to their roof,
did. I honestly did.
No, that's not a thing.
I was like, you can see that at least halfway. At least halfway do it.
The
like,
smallest thing that made me laugh was how quick Obi-Wan went from the roof onto the ground to pick up.
Yeah, that was pretty quick.
Yes, that was very convenient.
I was like, whoa.
I was like, okay.
To be fair, that could just drop down.
Yeah, I know. It's funny.
No, but Jayla's not wrong. It
It
legit cut from her like just hitting the ground and then like
here he
just
comes
laying there.
around the corner. He was literally
like
she hit. He was,
Hey, Kenobi just popped up like, "Hey, you okay?"
He needed to move that. He needed to move that fast for the rest of like them getting to the place. Like that was the fastest he's moved this whole episode. Anyway, so I thought it was really like about when he got to that planet and the little girl whatever was giving him the spice or whatever. I was like, oh, that's dark. What she just said to him. Oh, just two of those, you'll forget all about her, like his daughter. I was like,
that's Ewan McGregor's real.
We were talking about
it earlier, but it's even funnier to think about like, that's a dark thing to get your daughter to say to you, like, just forget about her, like, And
they went home. They went home and counted that paper together, Trevon. They got over
it. And I also did
20 for me.
I thought that was Rex as well. Like I didn't like. I was it's a clone. Or,
no, not
is
Rex.
It? No, okay.
Not Rex. But that's a really good sign though, because if Tamar's willing to come back to be a nobody, that means we about to see Cody. We about to see Cody.
Fucking paid right now.
Something about like I remember like reading something about that like a lot of people were saying on the set leak it looked like in like when they're wearing the robes thing, like it looked like the commander Cody's armor under one of them.
Yeah, because to me, if I didn't see this clone trooper at all and then I never got Cody, I'd be fine. But the fact that you showed me this useless character and then didn't show Cody, it's like, well, you went out of your way.
And it's the 501st one, not even
like
a random,
not even just
like the 501st, like come.
Right.
Listen, they don't be dropping these things for any little reasons.
Yeah, that would bother me because then that's just like you went out of your way to be an asshole. Like we wanted Cody, and you just brought in this rando. Like,
yeah, you pulled the WandaVision with that little guy, whoever it was. I was expecting.
You'll definitely. Star Wars fans won't be happy if there's no Cody. I'll tell you that. We want some Cody. I want some Cody here. I want some Rex and Ahsoka. I'm not asking for crazy things here. I'm asking for very reasonable
things. I want Hondo.
Absolutely. Ooh, Hondo. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Right there, Sabrina. I see it.
Who
said they want Hondo?
I mean, I've been saying that how many months now? I want Hondo.
That's true.
That's all I want.
I keep
Hondo
telling you, you're going to get him
in this episode instead of the other character.
Hondo would have been really cool in this episode, for sure. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, king of selling drugs out there. Yeah. Yeah, him being the future of that planet, that would have been awesome as hell. Like a real toxic ass Hondo, that would have been awesome.
I love Hondo.
But Trevon, is there anything else?
I think that's about it.
Well, goddamn, you done shitted on it to say that you enjoyed it.
I did enjoy it. I'm just saying, I just had a lot of
his breakdown.
Thoughts, okay,
same.
Chaos, and it was amazing.
You know what Trevon always reminds me of? The episode of Family Guy where the black guy was narrating the wild. He said, "Damn, that cheetah scared me." Like that's Trevon. You always bring the realism to it. I appreciate it. I really do. No, I mean, look, like I said, there were some things that were convenient in these first two episodes. Like we definitely watched an episode of The Mandalorian where he wasn't allowed to get on the transport with any weapons. And Kenobi definitely flung his robe open, showed that lightsaber.
That was wild to me.
That was another thing. I was like, so
that was so
I was like,
they literally did that for the fans, but I was just like,
that was for sure for us.
That was right.
She saw that. Like I'm look like she clearly saw that. She was
100%.
Well, could you imagine?
I was like, and you just gave her her chain code too. Like what?
Yeah, so when I saw that, I was definitely just like somewhere subconsciously, Mando's just like, hold on, wait a minute, like,
But to be fair though, Mando, like, if you see Mando, you know he has weapons on him. So he kind of put a target on himself like that.
Yeah, that's fair, but we're not arguing that. We're arguing the fact that he did the
I
flop.
know.
We saw the lightsaber.
I'm just trying to help it out a little bit. Because I agree with you. Because I was like, why is you flashing that?
Yeah.
Why? Like you didn't even clean
shot.
properly. Like
it was
it's probably
rusty.
rusty.
It is rusty.
It was.
He didn't turn it on, right?
Yeah. But like
No, he didn't turn it on.
He never. No.
He's like, stay hidden. He's like, take my advice and like hide this and like just stay hidden and like where they can't find you. And then like he just goes like
he shows the lightsaber.
My lightsaber. Like, what do you mean?
Kenobi was just like, hey, be careful. Don't let anyone know you're a Jedi. Meanwhile, hey everybody, I'm a Jedi. You saw that? No? Okay, all right. Get out of here.
Man, this is a cool ass lightsaber, isn't it, everyone?
He's like, y'all see this? Right? Yeah, okay. All right, y'all know what's going on. AJ, I'll go to you because Trevon apparently got you to where you are fuming and you are ready to
he has been muted.
I ain't even say that.
AJ's always grumpy. It's fine.
AJ went off of screen. How many times? Like, damn.
No. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just gonna make this short and simple. It was greatness. As always.
I was gonna say that.
All 2 episodes, nothing but perfection for me. I have nothing to complain about. It was just pure perfection. And that's all I would say.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you see where you were wrong about Reva? Because I saw your tweet.
Yeah. That's why I said that would have been one of my criticisms, but I understand.
Okay.
Because his tweet, I'm gonna have to go look at it.
He was saying, Sabrina, that because a lot of people were thinking this. A lot of people were thinking like, how does she know? How does Reva know that Leia is Anakin's daughter? No, she didn't. But that's what I'm saying. That's what a lot of people got mixed up. She was saying that she only went after Leia because of her attachment to
Bail and
then Bail's attachment to Obi-Wan. Right. There was no.
She said she looked through the archives.
And what a lot of people forget, which George Lucas was a genius about adding this into Revenge of the Sith. A lot of people forget. You forget when Padme was being they were doing her funeral. A lot of people forget George put in there that she still looked pregnant. So everyone thought that the children died with Padme. So she didn't lose the stomach.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why when everyone says no one knew that Luke and Leia were alive, let alone Anakin's children, is because when she was, because again, George said he did that because in his mind, there's no way Palpatine's not paying attention to that funeral.
Yeah.
So Palpatine's like, if I see that there ain't no baby bump, I'm gonna want to find me some fucking babies.
Yeah.
So that's why George put it. That's why George was saying Yoda and them made that facade.
Yeah, so probably like Obi-Wan
she was still pregnant.
Like in the funeral, like he was probably the one who like did that and like made sure to like make her look pregnant. So like, because once they decided where the kids would go, like they're like, we have to hide all this, like make sure nobody figures it out.
No one can trace anything.
Like,
so she was still pregnant.
It was showing like up until she gave birth. So it wasn't like she was only a couple months pregnant. Like everybody knew.
Right. Which is funny because I just rewatched Revenge of the Sith and I'm watching her on top of that fire and I'm just like, she pregnant that motherfucker, but just deliver baby. So I'm like, what the fuck? What is happening here? And then I'm like, I looked it up and I was just like, oh, George was like, he did it was on purpose. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Because I'm like, how do you get to editing and just leave that in there? Like,
I actually forgot.
Just ignore that.
Great detail. I love that.
Yeah, that was very dope. Sabrina, welcome in. And what were your thoughts on these first 2 episodes?
Oh my God. I went through so many emotions within the first 2 episodes, let alone the first. Like, me and Blake watched the last 10 minutes of Revenge of the Sith because, like, I didn't know off the top of my head if they'd do a recap, but like, it makes sense that they did. And then they just put me through that again, and I was like, oh man, I was like, this is like, I was already crying from the recap, having to go through all that again, and then I was like, oh no, I was like, all right, and the episode hasn't even started, and they kept doing like little references here and there, so it kept throwing me for a loop. But overall, it was literally better than I could have ever imagined. Like already, like I never really had like any nervousness that I was like, I don't want to say like if it didn't like the story didn't hit, like I would be like, oh, I wouldn't care because like obviously I'd be upset, but I'd be like, yeah, I'm just happy to see them both back together again. But like the story already flows like so well. Like I don't have any really like issues really with it. Like the only thing that I was like confused about, because I kept seeing this all day and I've asked people and like I want to ask everybody here too, the part where Obi-Wan's talking to young Leia in episode 2, where he says like, "Oh, you remind me of somebody." He's talking about Padme.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he was saying Satine, and I was like, why would he talk about like reference Satine to Padme's daughter? Like that makes no sense.
That's very creepy. That's very. I'm calling the
That's
police.
weird.
Yeah.
That's
You gotta go to jail. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, but not even from that standpoint. But I was like, he's literally like, that's literally her mother. Like, why would he like reference anybody else?
I believe people that went there first. I kind of feel like you had to have ignored everything of the prequels. Like Padme was extremely rebellious. I remember Padme legit going, "All right, yo, it's either you come with me or I'm about to do this shit myself." And Anakin's just like, "Well, shit, all right." Like,
people who haven't read, like, who only just watched the prequels, like, who haven't read the novels or anything, or like, or the comics, like, I think it was because, you know, yeah, she was married to Anakin, but like, they always forget that they were friends too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? So it wasn't just like, oh, you remind me of like this because I knew your mother through Anakin. Like, no, like they were generally friends too.
Yeah, and if you watch Clone Wars, you kind of have an idea on how well Kenobi knew Anakin and Padme. Remember when Anakin was sneaking off during the final season to talk to Padme? As soon as he comes out, Kenobi goes, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Like, Padme cool? And Anakin's just like, how the fuck did you know? And he's like, I know. I know all these fucking things, Anakin.
Like, Padme,
I'm not
hello
stupid.
for me.
Yeah. Thank you, Ash. She's like, yeah, of course I knew you were talking to her.
No, but yeah, like even like when he found out that like Padme was pregnant with Anakin's kid, he's like, I'm sorry, but it wasn't even just because like he was the one who delivered the news, like not only because it was like he figured out they were married, but like also because that's his friend too, and like I said, he tried to cover up everything too, and like, you know, I don't want to say gave her a nice funeral, but like, you know, took care of all that, and it's just like I think people forget that they had some type of friendship too. That it wasn't just like she was just there because she was secretly married to Anakin, like they actually, you know, and like even in Attack of the Clones, like him and Anakin both protected her when she was getting like hunted down. So it's like it's not like it's out of nowhere.
Right.
I don't know. I just kept seeing that all day, and I was like, why do people keep saying that? Because every post I see about it, every person says it now. I'm like, why are people thinking it's a teen?
It's
not
so weird.
That's really
it's so,
weird. It's
like
creepy.
Juwan and I was saying earlier, the only other person who thought it could have been, and it was before, because the first time he just said, you remind me of someone. So it was before he said she, I just immediately, that sentence, I was like, oh, it's Anakin, because how rambunctious she was.
Right.
And then once you said she, it's like, okay, clearly it's Padme.
Right. Clearly. Very clearly.
I like that. Like people say they don't see it, but I saw it a lot. Like I know because they stress about like Luke, you know, being like, you know, like Anakin, like with the pilot, like him sitting on top of like their home and like being like the pilot, like looking like literal like Anakin from like Phantom Menace. But like I like Leia sitting in this tree and like, you know, naming all the ships and everything. And I was like, come on, I was like, that's literally Anakin's daughter. Like you can't tell me all this. And I like that when she got kidnapped, Bail Organa said like the boy's not, she's just as important as Luke. Like that was my favorite line.
Right.
Like that was such
I believe George didn't do a good enough job with that with the originals, because it definitely very seemed Luke centric with sprinkles of Leia. And obviously, you know, they tried to rectify that in the sequels to make Leia stand out more.
Well, that was like was in the what was it? That was the plan in the beginning, wasn't it?
For George?
No, but for yeah, in the original script, wasn't it like it was like low-key supposed to be Leia at first?
Oh, that I'm not sure. I don't remember. I'm not sure at all. But I'm just glad we got a lot. We got a lot of Leia here. I love the actress. She is nailing it. She is really bringing a added dimension that I thought would be, because remember, Sabrina, I told you this was the synopsis of this show a few months ago. Is that it was him having to leave to go rescue Leia. So I thought it would be like a one and done thing. And it looks to be, if we're going by IMDb, this won't be the last time we see Leia. So I'm very pleased with this, you know, and I hope that this eliminates people's need for a Millie Bobby Brown Leia spinoff series. Like this should be good enough to where we're good. We're good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
We're good. I don't need young rise to power Leia. I need child Leia. I got obviously 20-year-old or 20-something-year-old Leia. Then I got Leia way later on, child Leia, and we're good. We end it there.
I mean, like, that's like really, if you think about it, that's the only gaps you really got to fill in. Is like
really that really matter. That really truly matter. This is it.
But,
no, go ahead.
No, it was just like I don't think I don't want to be like sound so biased, but like I really don't have anything like any problems with it so far. Like
most of us, if not all of us, didn't really have any major problems with it. You know?
It's so I was pretty much like happy with everything we saw so far. Like,
yeah,
I don't think I was worried really about anything, but I like that the story already like feels like natural and like I definitely really, really loved the entire like I'm not saying I love that Obi-Wan still has nightmares 10 years later, but like I love that they showed that it's still haunting him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was gonna say, and like that he calls out to Qui-Gon, like, oh man, that got me.
Well, we know in the comics Vader was haunted for a long time.
Yeah.
So
he
that too.
Yeah. Yeah, it took Vader a really long time to kind of get over everything that happened. So to me, this is perfect. Obi-Wan should still be haunted by a lot. And look, just when Obi-Wan was just like, all right, maybe I could start to work myself out of it, Bail Organa calls, and it's just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Now I got to go through all this again. The trauma, the becoming a Jedi, being a hero, a beacon of hope. It's too much. It's just too much. All right.
You got to deal with Anakin's child and Padme's child.
Goodness gracious. It's like, what did you do to me? I do want to ask this one question before we just really quickly go over one thing that stood out to us, the Star Wars Celebration. I want to ask this one really interesting question I think we'll have some fun with really quickly. What is the one character you want to see pop up in these next 4 episodes? Ash, I'll start off with you.
You already know.
Let me hear
it.
And
I'm being so serious. I want to see Hondo. Like, I don't care about anybody else. Let my boy Hondo pop up. And I know, Jawan, you're going to say, oh, but he should pop up in Ahsoka. No, him and Obi-Wan was friends. Obi-Wan may have not think that Hondo was his friend, but Hondo absolutely believed he was his friend. And he just pops up and he says, friend. Even if it's for like 10 seconds.
He says that to everybody, Ash.
Okay, excuse me. Okay, what you're not going to do right now is ruin my really good day.
You're absolutely right.
You asked the question.
Absolutely right. I did.
Thank
you're absolutely right. I appreciate it.
You're
absolutely right. You're right.
Don't come for me.
I was wrong. You're absolutely right. You're wrong. But anyway.
Wait, what?
I said Didge. I didn't say nothing. I said I wanted to pass it to Didge.
Listen, I will do your hands like Reva did that poor woman's hand.
All right, okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. It's all right. I'm going to just go to the same droid Anakin went to. Keep playing with me. Anyway, Didge. Didge, what's the one character you want to see pop up?
Honestly, I want to see just more Inquisitors. I hope these aren't the only 3 that we see. Like, obviously, we know the Grand one's gone, at least probably for the rest of the series. Obviously, I'm hoping just to see more of that sort of just group as a whole in general. Like, I want to see more of like their interactions with Vader stuff. Like, we know Vader hates them, so like we saw it in other media. I would love to see it in live action.
I personally am, first of all, let me just say the one thing that bugs me about Reva is that her hair is so damn good. She doesn't have a necessity to wear the mask. The mask is very like just visually pleasing to me of Inquisitors, right? So I'm like, I wanted to see her in it. That. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't have to, I'm not saying she has to wear all the time, but when your hair is that good, ain't no way in hell you putting that mask on at all, right? So it's like,
damn, why you put that in my head?
It's to the side, like that. They're not touching that.
They're not touching that. But it does link to the point of if we see more Inquisitors, maybe one of them wears it. You know what I'm saying? I
we do have the other I don't know what sister number she's at, but there is the other one, and her it looks like she can definitely wear it. But
and we do know we can look out for more Inquisitors because we know there's a few Inquisitors in Rebels that we have yet to see in this series of Kenobi. And obviously it's only 2 episodes, but that's why I'm leaning to you, Didge. If we could definitely see more,
right?
it's sometime soon. I don't think a lot more. I don't think they'll have a huge part. But
we don't. It doesn't like you need. You don't.
You
need
could go to their
command
base
group.
Yeah,
you don't
go to their base, and we see that there's more of them. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Gil, what's the one character you want to see pop up?
So realistically speaking,
or unrealistically, whichever one.
So I got.
I was unrealistic with mine.
Okay, what's your two?
I got two. So my realistic one is I would like to see Ahsoka show up.
Okay.
I think that'd be kind of cool. I kind of doubt it though, just because of timelines and all that other stuff. But it's more realistic, right, to get a Ahsoka. But the out there unrealistic is Star Killer, aka Galen Merrick. I would love somehow, some way for them to make him canon.
I'm telling you right now,
I would lose my shit.
I'm making a whole new list. If he becomes canon again,
California, scream out! You're gonna hear me all the way from the other side. Scream out!
I'm telling y'all right now, it's gonna sound blasphemous, but my list gets rearranged if Star Killer gets reintroduced. It definitely goes. It definitely goes Anakin, Star Killer. No, I'm sorry. It goes Luke. It goes Luke, Anakin, Star Killer, then Vader, then Kenobi, then Bo-Katan, then everybody else.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I knew that.
He's instantly up there.
That much to me. He means that much to me. I fucking loved his character. Oh my god.
Wait, hold on. You don't like Revan? You don't like Darth Revan?
No, not more than Malgus, and I don't even have Malgus. I don't even know where I put Malgus yet. I prefer Malgus over Revan. He's my go-to. Yeah, he's my go-to. I know. Yeah. Not really. No. Like when it goes to that canon, like that far back,
I like their books.
Malgus.
I like their
books. They got some good ass books. I won't argue that. I know AJ's seething because if there's one thing AJ loves, this is Revan. AJ love him some Revan. AJ loves Revan so much. AJ's like, it could be male, female, dog, cat, bird. Just give me Revan.
Okay, dog and cat, you're just going too far. You're going a little too far.
All right, AJ, I'll pass it to you. What's one character you want to see pop up?
I'll go with the popular vote right now. Cal Kestis. I think he'll be a good addition to.
Oh man, that's one of the people.
I mean
that or Yoda. I would like to see where he's at during this time period.
Now, you know what's funny, AJ? I had a whole theory. I believe when he fights Vader, he will lose. And when he loses, he goes and finds Yoda. And Yoda is what helps him get
acclimated.
Back, yes, reacclimated, thank you. With the Force, enough for him to be able to talk. Enough for him to get enough for him to get connected enough to be able to speak to Qui-Gon. Because so right now he needs Qui-Gon's. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Didge.
No. So I thought you were done. But to AJ's thing, to AJ's point, the new Jedi Fallen Order game, it's set 5 years after the first one, so that puts it right in this timeline.
Yep.
Perfect.
Smack dab in the middle. So to me, I don't need to see Cal Kestis do anything with Kenobi, but I would love to see them just having a conversation at the bar with one not knowing who the other is. Like,
I doubt that will happen.
I would love that to happen. I would
where Cal doesn't know who Obi-Wan, one of the most famous Jedis of all time.
No, time out. Obi-Wan looks different now. Looks different now than the last time he saw him.
Literally,
I'm sorry, time out. Hold on. What? He's walking an entire village where nobody recognized him.
Come on now.
An episode, and Leia was like, "That's you."
Hold on. So are we gonna ignore that
he doesn't look like Jesus anymore?
He landed on this planet, right? Walked by 90 people that saw his face, and it wasn't until they put up the wanted poster that everyone said, "Oh shit, yeah."
So we're not gonna. So with that point, we're not gonna argue that a Jedi can literally sense who Obi-Wan is.
A Jedi can what?
Sense who Obi-Wan is.
Nari did.
If you're just going by looks, that makes no sense.
Them.
It depends.
Jedis aren't normal human beings.
It depends. You can't sense him if he's completely if he.
But he's not in tune with the Force.
No.
That's my point. So I don't think Obi-Wan could sense Cal or Cal could sense him. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, like you saw, like why it was such a deal when he used the Force to save Leia. Like he probably blocked himself off just the way Luke
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, he's blocked himself off.
The Jedi found him earlier, the one he told fuck off. I mean,
but look how hard he had to search for him though. like that wasn't just he went there and said, "Okay, all right, I sense where he's at." Yeah,
but he knew what he looked like. You knew what he looked like. That's the argument you were making, that nobody would notice who he looks like.
I'm only making that argument because in that said show, outside of that one person, nobody recognized.
Because they weren't in the Jedi temple is what I'm trying to tell you.
But you acted like Obi-Wan worked from home. He went to mad galaxies. I mean, not galaxies, but mad planets where people have seen what Obi-Wan Kenobi looks like.
How many times has Obi-Wan been to Tatooine? Tell me that.
Probably a few times.
Like a handful of times.
No.
He's been to Tatooine a handful of times.
No.
100%.
Yes, he has.
Probably twice at the most.
I'm looking it up.
No, way more.
Definitely been to Tatooine more than that. I said a handful. That's 5. So at least 5
Okay.
been to Tatooine.
Point is, a Padawan would notice a famous Jedi.
A Padawan.
That's literally
Padawan.
Cal. What?
He was a Padawan. Oh, I thought you were saying a Padawan now, and I'm like, Cal Kestis isn't a Padawan now. I'm like, what are you talking about? I get you. You're talking about then. Okay, I thought you were talking about now. I'm like, he's not a Padawan now.
That's what I was saying.
I would think Cal Kestis would know who Obi-Wan is.
But he's not. Cal Kestis isn't a master either.
Yeah.
I didn't say that either. I just say he ain't no damn Padawan. That's all I said.
Okay.
I didn't argue that he was a master. He just ain't a Padawan.
He's like a knight. You know?
Yeah, because to me, I'm like,
he was never doctored into knighthood. He was always a Padawan, even during Order 66.
I don't disagree with that, but I'm saying if you're saying he's a Padawan now, that means you're trying to tell me that Kanan was a Padawan when we saw him in Rebels.
Technically, yeah, he technically is.
AJ.
Until
at a certain point, you were too goddamn.
Until you're knighted.
Cal Kestis did get knighted.
Technically a
That's
Padawan.
what AJ's getting at. I think AJ, like, are you talking about like the technical of like?
Cal Kestis got knighted in the game. He got knighted in the game. But by title, no one would have fucking called a 35-year-old a fucking Padawan, AJ. Come on now. Come on. I'm not saying they would have called him a Jedi Knight, but I'm not addressing you as a Padawan. You're just too old.
Yeah, but they don't really address him as a Padawan or Jedi anyway. They just call him
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm with you. I'm right there with you.
I get both sides. Yeah.
They're not going to be always considered a Padawan, especially at like 30 years old.
AJ, let me be very clear. AJ's not wrong. He has no other title. I'm just saying, if a Jedi met Cal Kestis or Kanan, they wouldn't address them as a Padawan.
They wouldn't address him as a Jedi either. Technically, they wouldn't address him as that stuff.
Fair, yeah, I'll agree with you there.
But
no argument here.
what I'm saying is, once Order 66 happened, he was still a Padawan.
Yes, you're absolutely
Jedi
right.
to be completely extinct.
But time out. To be fair, AJ, the point I'm making is they were both like 10 years old when the events of that happened
during the game. So he is
he did get knighted during the game. So he is a Jedi Knight now. Trevon, who do you want to see pop up? Because you now know your Star Wars canon. So who do you want to see pop up?
I mean, you already said Cal Kestis, so that's the first character I thought of. So
I'll switch mine to Cad Bane. There you go. You can take Cal.
You already said it though, AJ. You said it already.
I'll switch mine to Cad Bane real quick.
You saying it like it makes it new. You're saying it like it makes it new now that Trayvon said. You already said
I could use a little bit more Cad Bane in my life. There you go.
That would be dope.
I mean, we do know you guys.
So was there anyone else, Trayvon, or was it Cal Kestis you were going with?
No, that's about it.
Okay.
A nice Jedi, a nice thoughtful Jedi.
Nice thoughtful Jedi. All right, dude, so we're going
nobody
backwards.
Wants to see Jabba the Hutt.
No.
Actually, I thought that we were gonna get him in the first episode. I don't know why. I thought we were.
That would have been interesting if we did, but no interest whatsoever.
I can do without him.
Who do you want to see pop up?
So
I was about to say.
No, so Blake last night, and I'm like, maybe he could, but like, I don't know if they could actually like pull getting him for the show. But like Blake was like, oh my god, I forgot what the Jedi that, or like the fake Jedi that helped Obi-Wan escape. What was his name?
Haja.
Yeah, like before that, when he saw like before he saw his face, he's like, "Is that Mace Windu?" And I was like, "No." but like I don't maybe I feel like that would be like sick to see, but like I don't know.
I think they might save that for his own series where they kind of do like they did for Boba.
I would say like him or like maybe like you, because like it's very hard right now because like I know like they can go any route, especially if it's like some of the Jedi that like had survived like Kanan and stuff like that, or like Padawans, but like still like I don't know, it could go anywhere really, I think. But I'd like to see somebody, now that someone got in my head that Cal could maybe show up. I kind of want to see him now.
Yeah, it's canon to where we are now.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Didge, who do you want to see pop up?
I said it.
Who'd you say?
Oh, I wanted to see the Inquisitors.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. I always get so nervous I forget someone. All right. Mine is completely out there. I don't care. I want to see her. She deserves to pop up, and she would be a very welcome face to help Kenobi out of some of this trouble. I want Asajj Ventress. Simple. Simple. I want Asajj Ventress.
I want
Asajj.
I'm gonna tell you this: amazing. If we get Asajj Ventress, I want her to have the ending that she deserves. Cad Bane got his ending.
Yes,
his proper ending.
Really quickly, Ash, because AJ's thinking
get her proper ending.
AJ's thinking timeline wise. Yes, she is dead. I'm saying this is the same universe that brought Maul back. I want to, and she was killed in the books. To me, once you're killed in the books, you're not. Exactly. You were introduced on screen, but killed off screen. Nah, to me, that's not canon to me. That's not canon to me. But you are right. You're trying to think timeline wise. She would be
the books canon technically.
No, not all the books, but there's a lot of books that are canon. Her book is canon. Yeah. I'm just saying, to me, you can't introduce a character on screen
and then kill him in a book.
Yeah, like
they've been doing that for a while. They've been doing that for a while now.
For people like me, have read no book, so I feel like none of that's canon to me.
There you go. Okay, you're allowed to think
did
that.
You care about Asajj to begin with?
Yeah.
Okay,
that she was really cool.
It's hard to not care about Asajj Ventress.
Yeah,
she's the fucking
awesome.
bee's knees.
Like, I love her.
So I would love a situation where, because here's the funny thing, Obi-Wan in this episode ran into Darth Maul's somebody from Darth Maul's clan in this episode.
The race. I forgot what the
race.
They're called.
I don't remember their race.
The Night Sisters as well. Let's get into it.
They're just from Dathomir.
In this series?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I just can't remember the race.
Bring us Asajj Ventress.
Yeah,
it's the people from Dathomir.
Yeah.
Dathomirian. Yes. Yeah.
So to me,
I was going to say, but I felt like that was going to be wrong.
I thought it was too easy. That's why I just said the people from Dathomir.
Don't second guess yourself.
But yeah, so I want to see Asajj Ventress because I want an episode where Kenobi feels like he can't trust anybody, and then in comes Asajj Ventress, and I get in live action Asajj Ventress and Kenobi fighting some Inquisitors. That's all I want. I don't ask for much. That's all I want. That's it. That's all I want to say.
There's only one thing I would add into that. One thing. I want her to throw him a saber, and he's fighting with a red saber. I would add that in.
No, because I don't think she still had her dual sabers.
Okay. Can you let me dream?
What's your
I'm just saying. I don't think she still had them.
That would be sick.
Yeah, Barris Sophie
stole them.
Yeah, Barris had them.
I want one thing, and like some people say, like it could be possible, and like if I get it, I will be the happiest woman alive. I don't ask for much. I'm a simple gal. Just give me flashback with Anakin and Obi-Wan in their Clone Wars armor, and I could die happy.
Yeah, that's very realistic. Yeah, that's very realistic.
I don't care what the hell they're doing. Because for years I kept seeing edits of like Hayden Christensen wearing his Clone Wars armor, and I'm like, I just need to see this in live action, and then I can die happy.
Right there. Yeah, that's all I need. Gil's got the right idea.
I'm like, just give me the real thing.
That's it. Yeah, I'm completely with you right there. All right. Last thing that we're getting out of here. One thing that stood out to you during Star Wars Celebration, because me and AJ might get together tomorrow and just break down all of Star Wars Celebration. So I don't want to do a whole nother hour of the whole thing. Just one thing that stood out to you. Gil, I'll start with you. What's the one thing that stood out to you?
Oh man, we've been kind of talking about Cal Kestis, the new trailer.
Yep.
Just woo! Jazz hands about it.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest thing I gotta say. Just perfection.
Yeah. No, I'm 100% with you on that one. That because that came out of nowhere. Like, I swear to God, I thought Star Wars Celebration was just yesterday. So when this trailer dropped, I was just like, "You're still going? What? I got more interviews."
They're still going until Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes, still going until Sunday.
My body's not ready. Some crazy shit's gonna drop tomorrow or Sunday. I know it.
Yeah. All I know is they better drop that Mandalorian season 3 trailer. That's what I need.
That's exactly.
Oh, I already saw it.
I saw the leak too, but I need the high.
We want high def. Yeah.
I just needed to see it.
I need the leak because I've been searching high and low for the.
You don't got the leak?
I don't have.
I haven't watched it either.
For a while.
I'd rather you guys just watch it when it comes out in high definition.
No, you don't get to make that decision.
I'm gonna retweet the link. I'll retweet the leak.
Yeah, retweet the link.
Or just
Didge, you a real one. You are a real one. AJ.
Because when I tell you, Gil, Gil, did you at least hear the dialogue? Like what people were reporting was said from
No.
Oh
nothing,
my God!
Nothing.
When I tell you,
what are we talking about?
We're talking about the Mandalorian season 3 trailer. When I tell you, Gil, that my future wife, Bo-Katan, is a standout. I mean, standout.
That's gonna be that's gonna be the main thing from Mandalorian.
Actually, Didge, if you can find it real quick, I want to send it to Gil so he can watch it before anyone talks about it. So, is anyone gonna say Mandalorian season 3? AJ, probably you, right?
No.
No, you go ahead and talk about it. It's all good.
No, because honestly, Gil, it's not even spoiling. It's just I feel like hearing someone say it won't do it enough justice. I'd much rather you see it.
It's better to watch it than anything.
I'm gonna post the link into the chat right now.
Yeah, post it into the chat so I can send it to Gil.
You want me to go first then?
Oh yeah, go ahead, AJ.
I want to do the Young Jedi adventure.
Wait, really quickly, AJ, before you finish, Gil, can you see it in the chat here?
I did, but I have that on my phone, so I don't know if it's gonna kick me out of the stream or whatever.
Shoot.
Yeah. Because I'm not on my laptop.
You know what we're gonna do, guys? We're gonna have a field trip. Give me 1 second.
And my favorite rocket ship.
Yes.
Hey, let's go.
By the way, people be sleeping on the Backyardigans and Little Einsteins.
Yeah, Little Einsteins was that. That was the show.
Tell you that.
Yo, that intro goes hard.
Bruh, all I'm saying is the Backyardigans was ahead of their time, bro. They had a character named Uniqua. They were ahead of their time, bro. They definitely deserve some more credit.
Because it was written by a Black woman.
It was. They really went out there for that name. I remember when everyone's names was normal, then it was Uniqua. I was just like, huh? And then I was watching her. I was like, oh, shit, she getting it. Okay. All right, so YouTube is probably going to try to strike us for this, but guess what, guys? We don't care about rules over in this piece. We're going to do this for Gil.
Oh.
Here you go. All right, let's do
Let's
this. Ready?
Go.
Thank you.
And Ash. It's my cover for Twitter. Is Bo-Katan sitting in that fucking thing with the helmet right over there? Oh man, royalty like she belongs. So yes, I'm really excited for that. And who knows? Because we're talking about reuniting Mandalore. I believe there's someone in the Ahsoka show that might have a say in something that's going on in Mandalore.
Sabine.
I would enjoy that so much.
She has a claim to the throne. She also has a claim to the throne.
Yes, she does.
She doesn't want it though.
She doesn't want it. She doesn't want it. But we just made the argument that Mando originally didn't want it. It's not till you get in the position of being able to that you then go, well, shit.
Well, she was in the position to. That's the difference between her and Mando. She wasn't, to begin with, she was in the position of leading Mandalore.
That is right. That is how that arc went. That is how that arc went.
Yeah, that is true.
She also remember the biggest difference then and now is she felt a loyalty to the rebels. She didn't want to leave them to rule Mandalore. But now that that's not a thing anymore, well, again, we have to see how Ahsoka show plays out. She might feel nostalgic. Like, shit, why not? If they're fighting over it.
I want that bitch too.
Like, shit, let me run up there and let them know I'm still here.
I'm gonna come up here and sneak attack real quick. I'm gonna take it for myself.
You know it's gonna be hilarious is when Mando beats Bo, right? And then Mando's like, phew, all right, rule it out. Then
wait, you say when? You just say when?
Sabine comes in. AJ, it's his show. There's no way Bo-Katan's
not gonna win it.
It's no way if they
I give him one in
Multiverse Madness was about Doctor Strange, but it was really Wanda's movie. So
did Doctor Strange lose?
He won.
Okay. What are we talking
win.
about? What are we
He
talking
didn't
about?
win. He
Yeah,
didn't
wow.
win. He didn't win.
How
He
did he
didn't
win?
win. America Chavez won. It was America Chavez. She won.
I'm sorry. If I'm Doctor Strange, my whole thing was to stop you. Did she get stopped? I won. It don't matter how I won. I won. Like,
She's still going strong.
what? Yeah, come
She's
on
still
now.
going strong.
If I'm Doctor Strange, I'm checking my vitals every morning. I'm still breathing, right? Okay, all right, I won then. Sabrina, what's the one thing from Celebration you're looking forward to the most?
I don't know. I think I was like out of everything because like I've been like working while everything's been like dropping, so like I haven't really like tuned into everything, but I was kind of following it with like when I Hated a New One came out for like when they did the screening that I was following, and then I saw the Andor trailer. That looks cool, you know. I don't know like much about like to say about that really. I feel like that's more about how the Rebel Alliance was built more than about Cassian. So like I don't know. It's like because like
he was a big force in how it was built.
That's what I'm saying. Because like I don't think it's just about him because you don't see him a lot in the trailer. So I'm like I don't really know what to take away from that.
Yeah, it's bigger than him. To me, the main importance of Andor, because you guys know that's one of the least shows I'm looking forward to. But where it could really pull me in
to be a negative, but like
being honest is being honest. I don't have anything negative to say. It's just
really did nothing for me.
Yeah, but I will say you give me Saw Gerrera, you give me Saw in that, I'm there. I'm there. I am there. He better show up in this series. Are you serious? Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? He's already fully realized character at this point. We see him in Rebels, right? We know that he was in the what's
Rogue One.
Rogue One, thank you. So I'm like, why wouldn't he be in the series at some point? That's all I'm saying. So as long as I see him, you got me.
It's season 2, right? Like the last episode ends where Rogue One starts or something.
Yeah. That's what they said. It's supposed to lead direct, and it's like Rogue One. Like I said, obviously, I already told earlier it's one of my favorites, but it's like I don't need to see the lead up to this. I was cool.
No,
honestly, just the story.
Like
wait, say that again.
Movie.
No.
He's right.
Andor is supposed to lead literally directly into Rogue One.
I want Andor.
And hold on. I want to hear his point. Sorry.
I was just saying I don't need to see the lead up into it. Like it's gonna be.
I'm
gonna watch it. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it, but yeah, just it's like whatever.
That's how I felt going in the movie. It was like, yeah, it was good, but like you know what's gonna happen, so like there's no stakes.
I mean, that's the same.
Oh no, I love the movie.
That's the same with Clone Wars.
Again, I'm gonna be very honest here.
Fair.
The reason I'm not interested has nothing to do with story or anything.
That we already know, yeah.
Yeah, it's just to me, it's the politics of it that I've never been interested in. Like,
yeah, you're not a big fan of politics.
I don't give a shit about politics.
Yeah,
I don't. Real world, fake world. I don't care about the politics. Just get me to the meat and the potatoes.
Me and Joanna are opposite ends on this one.
Get me to the meat and the potatoes.
Like,
AJ, are you super excited for it then?
Like, cool, whatever. I don't.
Wait, say it again.
I was just asking if AJ, are you super excited for it then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I did want to say really quickly, Gil, shout out to Hasbro. They've released all the Kenobi figures. Well, not released, but they shown that. They announced them all, and those figures look really freaking good.
I pre-ordered Reva.
Yes, Reva, the Grand Inquisitor, the other Inquisitors. Look, I know they won't, and it's not Hasbro style to do it. I would really love a figure of Leia. I really would, bro. Like, how do you leave Leia out of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, how?
Look, I'm still waiting on a Leia hot toy over here. That's what I want. A Leia and a Padme hot toy. That's what I want right now.
Yeah, I would actually like that. I would like that a lot.
Those would be hot. They'd be fire.
Yeah, they don't put enough value into their women. They need to put more value into their women, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We need more from the ladies of Star Wars.
Ooh, a Hot Toys Reva. That would be sick.
That would be sick.
And Trilla? Oh, that's what I need.
Ooh, now you're talking about
Ooh, Trilla, man. Did I love me some Trilla? Woo! Damn, Trilla.
They also have a Vader helmet.
Bring us a little seasoning to the hot toy.
Nah, Didge. More about Trilla.
I I'm just going down the list now. I agree with you.
I want to talk more about Trilla. Come on now. I
would for sure like a hot toy of that. Yes, you are not 100%. Wrong.
I want to meet the actor too. Whatever. I just love Trilla. Trevon, is there anything from Celebration that stood out to you?
Two things. Well, more than two things, but there's two things I thought of when you first asked that was, this is really nothing to do with Star Wars, but I thought the Willow trailer was really cool.
The who?
Willow. Yeah,
it looked pretty cool.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Never seen the original or whatever, so
neither did I.
Yeah, me neither. Didn't know it was a thing.
And I also really enjoyed Ian. How you say his last name?
McKellen?
No, the one that plays Palpatine.
Oh,
I really enjoyed his panel.
His panel was great.
It was so fun. I was like, I really enjoyed that. Like, he told all the stories about how they came up with the voice and everything, and I was like, this is really cool.
Yeah, he's the OG. That's the OG right there.
Triple
that's the OG. No. The triple OG is James Earl Jones.
Okay, fine.
That's a triple OG.
I apologize.
That is true. Yes.
Yeah, him and Mark Hamill are one of those OG triple OG triple OGs. You know what I'm saying?
He was he didn't even know that he was like evil.
The voice of Vader.
Yeah.
He that's fun. I was like, that's cool that you didn't. George didn't give you everything in the beginning. That was cool.
Yeah, George very much was just like, I got a story in mind. Here's some of it. It's just like, what? Yeah, some of it. I'll tell you the rest when you need to know. AJ, what are you looking forward to?
I am actually looking forward to the Young Jedi Adventure series that's coming out on HBO Max.
Is that with
the what?
Fucking what's his name?
No, Jude Law. You're thinking about Jude Law.
Jude Law. Not that
That's John Watts' movie.
Oh,
that's
gotcha,
also
gotcha.
about Padawans as well.
Skeleton.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's Skeleton.
What are you talking about?
It's called Young Jedi Adventures.
They haven't said. I don't think they have said much else about it other than
it says it's a series that follows younglings in training during the High Republic era.
Right, and it said, but it's not a kids show. Disney.
Either way, I'm actually interested in the Padawan storyline because even in the novels, they dive deep within that Padawan stuff, which I really, really enjoy in the novel. So seeing it in live action, that
should be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But also Skeleton Crew is what I'm also excited.
Yeah, once they said Jude Law, I cared nothing about anything. And they said Jude Law, I was just like, okay, shit, you got me. Fuck it, I'm there. I don't care. I do want them to develop a show about Broom
Trayvon,
Boy.
I think he's just made a mistake by saying it was going to be on HBO Max. That's where Trayvon was so.
Wait, who said HBO Max?
I thought I said Disney Plus.
No, you said HBO
Max.
No, okay, my bad.
It threw me off. I was like, what?
I kept trying. You were still talking, so I didn't get a chance to let Trayvon know. Yeah, no, he just made a mistake.
Okay.
I can see the confusion on your face the entire time.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I do want to see a series about Broom Boy. Broom Boy deserves some love. Broom Boy should be talked about. Yeah, Broom Boy should be talked about. Broom Boy is our whole new legacy. He's how we get out of the Skywalkers. It's Broom Boy. Broom Boy is how we get there.
Too bad this is set way before that. So.
No. I mean, separately from that, I want a series about Broom Boy. I want us to hear about Broom Boy. How he's just using the broom, like with the force and shit. He's riding it like a witch. All kinds of crazy shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's how we get Harry Potter.
So he's flying. Flying.
On the broom, not on his own. On the broom.
He's using the broom to clean up the galaxy.
Yes, that's the tagline. Cleaning the galaxy one planet at a time. There you go. That's your tagline. And he's just this badass kid with no lightsaber, just a broom. Now I want it. Shit, I didn't talk myself into it. God damn you, Ryan Johnson. Anyway, we want to thank. Shout out to Sith Morrison. Darth Maul's race is actually called Zabrak.
That's okay. Is that what it is?
Yeah, Zabrak.
It's a Darthomirian.
Yeah, I thought that didn't sound right. I was like,
Zabraks.
That doesn't sound
right. Zabraks, yeah. Dathomirians aren't a thing.
That's just the name of the planet. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's the name of the planet. Okay. But I think I heard the name Dathomites before.
If you Google it, it shows Dathomirian Zabrak now.
See, that's what I seen. That's what I seen.
So I don't know. I think it's one of those things where to when he cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
100%. I'm telling you, there's a lot that changed between Lucas and then handing it off.
Right.
Let me just fix the Wikipedia.
Yeah, just go right in the Wikipedia. Fix that up. I want to thank everybody in the comment section. You guys were complete rock stars. You guys are awesome. The questions were so much fun. The questions were very engaged. I want to thank my amazing panel, starting off with Ash, AJ, Trevon. Goodness gracious, you stress me. Jayla, go feel better, Jayla. Didge, Sabrina. Definitely glad you got to get in here, Sabrina. Before we wrapped up, glad you got in here. And then our special guest, man, Gil, you have to come back. I always worry that we scare people off. We scare people off because we argue so much.
No, sir.
That is my number one goal. Scare everybody off.
No, sir. I am. Oh shit! There goes Obi-Wan.
There goes Kenobi. Look at Kenobi. Kenobi was trying to punch AJ in the face.
Also, I love your setup. It is amazing.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, I try to give the viewers something to look at because I don't know if you guys know this or not, and is it okay to plug myself
100%. I was just about to give you the go ahead.
All right, yeah, I'm actually the main host of the Geek Out Show. We're a podcast. We usually do weekly shows about comics, anime, manga, video games. Actually, all gaming now. It used to be video games only, but it's all like gaming, tabletop, card games, all that stuff. Collectibles, TV, cartoons. Yeah, it's just a little bit of everything, kind of like what you guys do here. So we try to do everything just in like one show, but then we got a bunch of branch off shows as well. Canon Cantina, which is just Star Wars. Rotten Celluloid, which is a horror-based podcast. We have What Did I Order, which is like, it's one of my favorite shows that we have. It's like one of our guys named Heath, and like he just talks about all of his random thoughts, and he's like a new again father. He already has like a child, but he's the father of a newborn, so it's a bunch of crazy thoughts like, oh, I remember thinking about that when I was the father of a newborn. Yeah, just have a bunch of content coming out right now, probably about 7 shows that we got, but usually like I'll put on some anime or I don't know, something in the background that people could look at, and yeah, we got strikes before, but I don't care. I just like something entertaining back there for the folks.
100%. And look, I tell you right now, you just got a massive fan in AJ. AJ's been scouring the earth for someone to talk anime with, like consistent
and comics. I have no one to talk comics with.
I will definitely be reaching out to you to talk anime as well.
Yo, I'll have you guys come on the show. You know, we could do maybe like a collab, like the whole entire crew with my crew. My guys were in the chat. It's just mainly me, Matt, and Jade. They're my co-hosts for the show, but like we got a bunch of other people. But I could have like Matt and Jade with all you guys on, and we could, just do like a collab or something like that. That'll be pretty fucking sick.
Absolutely. So I'll have all your information in our description. So don't worry about that. It'll be in our description for everybody to know where they can follow you at. Like I said, we appreciated having you, and trust me, almost everyone here started off as like a guest, and then like I stronghold them into being a part of almost every possible podcast I do. So,
we're held hostage.
I haven't let Trevon take a day off in like a year and a half.
Oh, shit.
Trevon be like, I just got home. Well, hurry up and get on the podcast. Shit, I don't care. So I definitely will be hitting you up for whenever you're available to come on to podcast with us. We got so much coming up, guys. Obviously, we'll be bringing back the Galactic Review on Wednesday, because for reasons I still can't comprehend, they didn't want to give it to us Wednesday. They gave it to us Friday and then pushed it now to Wednesdays again. Mm-hmm. So it's confusing. So Wednesday we'll be back. That's what I'm saying. We'll be back to talk Star Wars. I understand the concept of that, but now it's like, well, you're gonna bleed into when Miss Marvel debuts, so you're not gonna drop them both on the same day. So what's gonna happen then? One of them gets pushed. So it's like, well, then just stay on one specific day, so we don't have to keep pushing pulling. Is all I'm asking. But Wednesday we will be talking, obviously, Kenobi. One of these days we will be breaking down part 1 of Stranger Things. I've already seen some of it. It's pretty bonkers.
I saw all of it.
It's great. It's great. Oh, you watched all of it already?
I am crazy. Not surprised. AJ.
I'm 3 episode off. And we will be breaking down Miss Marvel when it comes out. We saw the first 2 episodes. It is phenomenal. Iman, you will fall in love with immediately. I promise you. Like the first 15 seconds, you will fall in love with her Miss Marvel. And you will only see her as Miss Marvel going forward. Like, forget the video games, forget the comics. She is now your Miss Marvel. Trevon, she'll blow you away. I promise you that. And The Boys. We'll be breaking down The Boys. I got a chance to check The Boys out. The Boys is recklessly crazy as you could possibly expect the shit to be. Bananas. Just unbridled banana-isms. I don't fucking know. I forgot words now.
That was a wild word. All right.
That was banana-isms, right?
I thought you had a stroke for a second.
So we got so much stuff to break down. So make sure you guys are staying tuned. Make sure you're liking, commenting, subscribing. And like I said, Gil's podcast information will be in the comments, in the description section. Please make sure you are following, liking, commenting, subscribing, buying merch, whatever Gil asks you to do, go do it right now. Okay. You have no choice. We love you guys, and we will see you same time, same place next time. Till then, peace.